Howdy, people! How are we all doing on this fine Tuesday? Pretty good, I hope. Pretty good. I am just going to do what I always do before we get started. Do a quick sound check, and then we'll get straight into what's going to happen this evening. And that is all good. We will turn that off. So, welcome to the show. Hello, Podium Chasers. It's me, Martin Cooper. Comms by Coops. I know you all had to see and listen to me on Sunday, which was absolutely epic. We're going to have a similarly good race this evening. This is the Taco Tuesday championship, as you will all be aware. It's the only reason why Tuesday is invented, really, for this championship. And we've got a full grid, 29, obviously plus me. Oh, blimey heck, Michael's in early. Hello, mate. Perfect washing up content. Good. Good. Hope you're using Fairy, because it goes longer, your dishes, apparently. Or a dishwasher. Up to you. Where was I? Yeah, so Taco Tuesday Championship. This is round 7 from Spa. It's a very easy track. Nothing much to really challenge any of these guys. You know, it's almost like an oval. It's that easy. But we shall see. What we're going to do this evening, as we always do, we're going to run through who's been doing what in free practice. You can see the times on the left-hand side there. Michael Races is currently setting the bar rather high there with a 2:18.588. He's just done that one. So Crazies is also in the 18s, and I think Kino's just outside that in the low 19s, which is great pace from him so far. I was moving soon. Dishwasher on the wish list. Get it. Get it. Plug it in a video. They might send you one to try out. You don't know, do you? No, you never know. Yeah, so round 7, this is the penultimate round for this championship, which, again, I can't believe how quick this has gone. Season 4, it's just flown by. On the PS5, we've had a full grid every single week, and I do believe there's 6 or 7 reserves still sat there this evening who aren't, you know, I was going to be a little bit disappointed, but as we continue to grow, as always, maybe next year there'll be 2 tiers, not next year, next season there'll be 2 tiers running. Rod's in. Smalley gave, oh no, why did he do that? Rod says Smalley gave him the Rona. Obviously there's a lot of that going on at the moment, more of which we will discuss, no doubt, as we go through tonight's stream. So, we will of course do a full lap guide. We always do that every session. That will be in qualifying, when they really start to ramp up the pace. We'll obviously go and have a look at the stats in a minute, but I think tonight, let's just start off with our check-in, yeah, so just to make sure we all know who is about. So, your Volton's running this evening, Rob 2K's in, Smalley's in, SJ Disco, Kino DJ, Supercart Ray. Remember, he wasn't in last week, and I only had 17,000 watching, so now he's in this week. It should be a full house, at least 32,000. Supercart Ray. So Iceman Sean UK's in. I know he was talking to me after the race last week, and he's, you know, really impressed with the standard of driving here, and he feels like he's improving all the time, and I seriously believe that he is improving all the time. Mighty Road Racing is in. Bruges is in. Crazies. Obviously, Crazies didn't have a great race last week with a bit of an RQ on there, but let's hope that doesn't happen to him this evening. Michael Races, obviously he's in, and Traction's gone quicker than him. That'll please him by a 10th. Ams is in. Ash, 1-1 Ferrari, Traction Dave, Limaro's back this week. Faco is in. Cascanova, King of the Hills. He's in this week. Fearless Freak, Elysium, GTJ, Pony Feeder, Kaga Tacos is back this week. Great news. Andy Cray, Hutch. Mr. Ben Mildew has got himself a full-time seat, and he's going to be driving the Merc. And I know for a fact, we had a really good chat last night without actually using any words. It was just all emojis, which was quite interesting. And yeah, and I know he wasn't overly keen to begin with the Merc, but he's obviously had some time to practice, so we'll see how that works. Dragon on Speed in the Porsche, and Tony is in. So Freeman obviously is not, because he's gone over to PC, and that's your 29 drivers. Supercart Ray is my teammate on Friday Endurance for FRL. I'm rooting for him tonight. Maybe Ben too, maybe just a little bit. Good luck, guys. As expected. Right, so free practice, 10 minutes left. Let's get out on track. Let's get on board with Traction in the Ferrari, seeing as he is setting the pace with a 2:18.459. That is a good pace. That is good pace on that. Whilst we're having a look at how we should actually do our driving. We can get the stats done, so we all know where we are now. This evening, because Freeman is not obviously with us anymore, it makes for quite interesting reading. Michael Races is currently leading the championship on 227. He has a 53-point gap back to Freeman. Obviously, he's not scoring any points. He's got a 61-point gap back to Crazies. Now, Crazies obviously in third place. So if Michael wins this evening and Crazies doesn't have an amazing race, Michael could be crowned champ again. So we'll see how that works out. GTJ is fourth on 165 points, so he's eyeing third in the championship. He's only a point behind Crazies there. Traction Dave, Michael's teammate, he's running fifth with 147 points. Marty Road Racing is sixth with 133, and then we've got Rob2K in seventh in the Beamer on 125 points. Bruges is 8th on 117. Ponyfeeder, Kino's teammate, is 9th on 113. And then Reedy in the McLaren is on 111 points in 10th place. And that's only a third of the way through. Hutch is 11th on 108, tied with Kino on 108 points. 1-1 Ferrari is 13th on 105. Then Fearless is 14th in the Beamer on 96 points. Behind him is Ash, also in a Beamer, on 89 points. Dragon on Speed in the Porsche is on 89 points. Popular number. 18th place is Elysium in the Merc on 84 points. Supercart Ray, our Ferrari hero with the fan club, is 19th on 82 points. Limaro is 20th at the moment on 74 points. So you remember last week, he had some terrible luck at the beginning of that race and in qualifying, and I think he was coming back from 19th. And Elysium wanted him to go 19th to first. I mean, that didn't quite happen. He did manage to fight back really well during the first part of the race, and then got caught up in some issues, so that paid to his epic comeback there. Smalley's 21st on 72 points. SJ Disco 22nd on 70 points. Then we've got Faco in the McLaren on 67 points. Kagatacos is 24th with 63 in the Porsche. And then we've got King of the Hills in the Bentley on 60, 25th. Cascanova in the other Bentley's 26th and 51. Sean is 27th on 47 points. Then we've got Beamer Power in the Beamer, is only on 13 points. Andy Cray's got 11 points, obviously late addition to the season. And Yo Mr. Whitesmurf, who's not in this evening, is propping up the grid with 0 points. So that's the drivers. So Michael now takes the baton on, and he pops in 2:18.3. Impressive indeed. Right, let's go and see. Is Ben out? No, Ben's in the pits. He's too scared. Smalley, old and slow. Tony's out. Right, let's have a look. Tarek's in tonight. Okay, let's go on board with Ash in his Beamer as we look at the team. So currently first place in the team's standings is One Fast, One Furious, which is Michael Races and Traction Dave. They're on 374 points in the Ferrari. Run DJC is Marty Road Racing, and Ben is joining there to replace Freeman. They're on 307 points. Third place is Team PSR, which is Fearless and GTJ on 261 in the Beamer. And then Kitty Cat Patrol, obviously it's not Kitty Cat Patrol, but I can't say that. Crazies and Ash in their Beamer on 255. In fifth place we've got KJ Racing, which is Kino and Ponyfeeder in the Ferrari on 221. And then in the Ferrari we've got Remarkable Racing of 1-1 on Supercart Ray. They have 187 points. Seventh place is Blue Flag Motorsport, which is Reedy and Smalley on 183 in the McLaren. Not Fast Just Furious, King of the Hills and Hutch in the Bentley. They're on 168 points. They're currently tied with Lowlands Lions, which is Bruges and Cascanova, also in the Bentley. And then in 10th place we've got Alan E Racing, which is Lamaro and Elysium in their Merc on 158 points. Followed pretty closely by ST Motorsport, which is Dragon on Speed and Kagatacos in the Porsche, 152 points. Beamer M Power, Rob2K and Beamer Power have 138 points in 12th. And then Dancing Queen Racing, which is Faco and SJ Disco, they in the McLaren have got 137 points. This in the League, which is Yavolton and Iceman Sean in the Bentley 133, and Slow In Fast Out, which is Andy, have 11 points currently. Phew! that's all the stats out of the way. And let's quickly check the live chat before we start talking about Spa and what challenges it presents to the drivers and how they can overcome that. So let's have a quick look. Ben, hey Coops, I only want to survive tonight. Ferraris are looking strong. I agree, Ben. I do agree. They are pretty strong around here. I'm sure by the end of the race you'll be doing really well. Just take a bit of time to get used to that. Michael, hi, yeah, rooting for you. Thanks. Where's my points? I haven't been paid the fee to release them, Ben. That's what it is. And Rob Andrews, evening Coops. Good luck, everyone. Go Supercar Ray. Another top 10 finish. Yeah. Evening Rob, hope you are well. So we have 7 of you in at the moment. I've got 4 likes, that's really great, thank you very much, but I need 3 more. So just ping please, that would be fantastic. Let's get it started in the right way. So penultimate round, Spa. What does Spa offer that other tracks don't? Well, I love Spa as a track. For me it offers everything. It's got long straights, it's got sweeping corners, you've got hard braking zones, you've got extremely fast corners. So in terms of car setups, you have to think it's not a one size fits all. You've got to have your aero balance, you've got to have the stability, but you do use some curb, so you need to have a little bit of softness in there as well. I think it's just absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this track, and I'm sure all of these guys do as well. So Michael, okay, Michael's just had his Weetabix, so he's in the 217s. I have to say, forced to have some of this coffee now. Oh, I do apologise, this is a bit heresy here. I don't have the FRL coffee delivery device with me today. No, I don't. Because I got that excited, I used it earlier and couldn't be bothered to wash it back up. So it is in the dishwasher, Michael. Yes, plenty of place for good battles. There will be a lot of good battles tonight. It never doesn't deliver. But so Michael's just put it in the 217s, as I say. I have never seen a 217 on a PlayStation. So that is impressive. He's got a 3/4 of a second gap at the moment back to traction. Crazies is in third, 1.2 off the pace. Pony Feeder's a few thousandths behind him, and then Kino's in 5th currently. Now you remember last week, Kino and Pony Feeder, they had a really strong team race last week, and they finished very high in the standings, which did their team championship the world of good. I'm sure they will be hoping for a very similar result this evening, having got those 2 Ferraris looking pretty well dialed in. Marty Road Racing is 7th, currently 118. Andy, good effort from him in the Merc, is currently sat in 9th, and Smalley brings up the top 10. Our Ben, that's what I'm going to call him from now, Mr. Ben. No, I'm not going to say that. Our Ben, he's currently in 11th. Again, he hasn't really driven the Merc, so Ben is definitely a Bentley guy, and the Merc does present quite a lot of different challenges. Speaking of information about cars, you may have seen yesterday I uploaded a new video onto my YouTube, Comms by Coops. I'm starting a brand new series on there called Which Car? So each week I'm going to release 3 videos. So individually I'm going to make my way through each car that we have, firstly within the GT3s, then GT4s, then we can do the cup cars and things like that, just to give information out to everybody about the car. You know, how does the car handle, what's my thoughts on the car, how to set the car up, the sort of tracks that the car does well at and doesn't do well at, all those sort of little tidbits which hopefully you guys will see some value in, and it might make you think, well, I've always wanted to try that car but I've never done it. Okay, I've got some information about it, I'll go and give it a whirl. So have a look at that, check it out. It's going to be pretty good, hopefully. Scazzetti's in. Hello, hope you're well, mate. Thanks for joining. Good to have you all with us. So I think we're going to have a bumper crowd this evening, I think. And it could be a record. It could be a record this evening, which would be fantastic. So, just under a minute left. We do now have an Opti track. 18 ambient, 24 on track. Okay, this is no wonder in the 17s. I mean, in terms of actual conditions, they're pretty perfect. Pretty perfect. So, let's see what happens in qualifying. So, 40 seconds left. We'll do a full lap guide in qualifying. I just beat my best time at Spa by nearly 3 seconds. What time did you do? Tell me what time you did. By 3 seconds, and then you saw Michael do that. I know, he's quite good. Quite good is what I'll say with that. But don't be disheartened. You're 3 seconds up on your lap time. So by the end of this race, you're going to be even more. You're going to be even quicker because you're going to be in the pack and watching people and studying their lines and picking up tips. So don't worry about that. And again, for anyone that's new to watching, I will just put a little disclaimer out there. This is the only view that we have. Yeah, I mean, I could do different car views. I could be in chase cam or something like that. I don't like doing that. So this is the view that we have, because the PS5 doesn't allow me to access all the other cameras, spectator cameras, unfortunately. 220.9. You know what? That's not a bad time. That is not a bad time, mate. I cannot enter. Someone stole my place. Baco. Okay. Who stole your place, Baco? Send a message to Yvolton, please, because that's ridiculous. And the only person I don't recognise in here is old and slow. So we will have to see. Send a message to Chris, please, Paco, and he'll try and sort that out for you, which is not ideal, mate. But yeah, that needs to be dealt with. And we're always changing the passwords because, I mean, these things do happen sometimes, but it would appear someone has got hold of the password, potentially, that isn't registered as a full-time driver, so that needs to be sorted out. Apologies, Paco, I'm sure Chris will help you. But yeah, so we're in the wait time for free practice. Full lap guide coming up. I'm really looking forward to this race. I mean, last week was really, really good, and as long as we've been having quite a bit of chat in Discord about driver etiquette. Now, within FRL, we are always trying to not educate you guys. We're always educating ourselves, and then we try and pass that knowledge on to everybody, because evidently what we want is for the best racing out there. Yeah, we want clean racing, and so let me just see who's just jumped out of the pit straight away there. I'll find out in a minute. Go Kino. Hello Katie, hope you're well, hope you're feeling a bit better. I know you've been poorly recently. Well, that's an understatement, isn't it? So I hope you're feeling a bit better. Yeah, let me know if you are. Plenty of rest, watch this, see Kino potentially get on the podium. That'll make you feel much brighter. Yeah, we're all rooting for him. Well, I'm rooting for everybody. I can't just root for him. I want everybody to do well. So who we got out there? 22. So Hutch is out first, is he? Yeah, so we'll jump on board with him. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of conversations in Discord about driver etiquette. We've been really looking at that. Not that the driving etiquette is bad, it's never been bad. It's one of the real big plus points of FRL across all the platforms, is the driving is generally very, very safe, very close, yeah, aggressive. People are trying to win and make moves, and that's all good. But generally, everybody gives each other the respect they deserve and the room they need, which is fabulous. But occasionally, that doesn't quite happen, and it does appear that the old T1 heroic beast keeps raising its head. I'd say probably over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So we want to see it clean. I don't want any accidents this evening at T1. Yeah, all through Eau Rouge. I want it. Well, Eau Rouge is T1 on this, isn't it? So from the start finish line, let's be clean. We've got a whole hour to race. So we don't need to be, trying to stick one up the inside and taking people out and ruining yours and other people's races. Let's keep it clean. Who's Ben Gallagher? Me and Faco are usually the only McLarens. Is Ben in, actually? Because he shouldn't be. Ben is in. Why is Ben in? 1 second. Ben was on the reserve list, I'm sure. 1 second, guys, let me just check this out. Yeah, Ben shouldn't be in. Right, so Kimmy's dad is in, and so is Ben. Okay. So by my calculations, we have 2 people that shouldn't be in, who did register as reserves, and obviously said yes earlier on that they could race if needed, and they may have taken that to mean yes, they're racing, but I haven't seen anything to the contrary. So we'll have to see how that goes. Again, please drop your Volton a message and see if you can sort that out. So 11 minutes to go. So who is first out the bag? We're on board with Hutch at the moment. Okay, we will get into a lap guide shortly. That's Hutch. Comes around No Name. Okay, it's quite a difficult corner, No Name. It's a left-hander. It's second or third gear, depending on what car you're in and how you feel comfortable around there, into the extremely fast Puyon. Again, tricky, could be third gear, could be fourth gear, that will depend what car you're in, and how you've got that set up. And then into Campus, which is a tricky right left-hander. This, you've really got to balance the car. Obviously Hutch is doing a bit of a warm-up lap here, so I'm not going to commentate on that too much. Yeah. So Supercar Ray now can't get in because we've got someone in who shouldn't be in. Okay, craziness. Claire, good evening. Hope you're well. I've just been saying to Katie that I understand that there's been a little bit of COVID making its way around the household, so I hope you're feeling better. And also, actually, it's a good job you've just said hello as we come into bus stop. I'm trialing some new software this evening on my YouTube. Which allows me, if I want, to look into maybe certain people's houses. Yeah. So I have to say, Claire, that is a very, very nice new haircut you've got there. Suits you really well. I like the length, the colour's nice. Yeah, looking very nice. Hopefully that makes you feel better. Get rid of the COVID, have a little makeover. Happy days. Yeah, good. Ash says he's fed up watching Mike. Well, we're not watching Mike. Oh, feet up. Well, as in, are you watching Mike do the washing up? And obviously a different Mike. Right, anyway, so Hutch is on a quick lap. Crazy's a set of 2:18.6. Keno is only 3.5 tenths behind that. Andy's 1.6 behind. We're on board with Hutch at the moment. So he... Oh dear, someone has just decided to have a little wander there. 83, that's Lamaro. Right, Lamaro is on a quick lap. Let's see what he's all about as he goes through a Rouge and up Radion. Again, really important to balance the car. Yeah, I mean, you can full throttle on the PS5 through there, no problem at all. Crazy's is in the pits with his 218. So on the way down the Kemmel Straight, we need to be looking for the curbing on the left. Just before that, we're going to get hard on the brakes and down into second gear. We're going to tuck her in. We could take a bit of that curb on the right, definitely on the left, just to help pull you round. Yep, and then we're going to pause here, up change to third, he doesn't, I do in the Ferrari, and then get hard on the power as we go down towards Bruxelles. Hard on the brakes, we're going to trail as soon as we get to that apex. Again, the Merc is geared slightly differently, so we can do that in second. On the way up to No Name, he's going to do that in third. Okay, so I'm understanding how he's driving that Merc. And then we're going to get hard on the power in the run down to Puyon. Stay right, look for the fence on the right, there's the orange fence in there, then we're on the brakes. Down into third, you've then got to pause and feather slightly, that's a little bit too wide there, and then we're going to get hard on the power, sticking close to the curb on the left, drift to the right as we come up towards Campus, just under the bridge, hard on the brakes, he'll be down into third. Oh, he's gone second. Okay, so we want to scrub a lot of speed in there so we can take a tighter entry through the first part of Campus, and then on the way down to Stavilo, just before the curving on the left, down into second, trail all the way in, squeeze the power, go wide, not too wide or you will invalidate. And then what an annoying corner that is, you want it to be flat, usually it can't, you might have to do a very momentary lift, and I mean just a tad, and then we go through Blanchimont, and obviously we are completely flat through here, 6th gear. We probably want to use a bit of the Astro, early turn-in, try not to take either of those two curbs, that's going to slow you down by maybe 100th or so. And then just as we hit the line, we're hard on the brakes, down into first, trail in, we can take some of the curb on the right, blip of the power off, turn in, take the curb, and then we're going to squeeze and go wide, and then we're going to cross the start finish line on the run up to La Source. That is your lap guide. Katie's still got the lurgy. That is a shame. I'm very oh yeah. Woo, look at me, said Claire. Everybody on the live chat, please wish Claire and Katie a speedy recovery, please. We don't want people being poorly with that. And Gamer Dad's in. Bonjour, Gamer Dad. I'd curtsy, but I'm already sitting down and I'll probably hurt myself or something like that. Good to have you with us, mate. Alright, get involved. So Traction, he takes the mantle in qualifying with a provisional of 2:17.8. Let's go on board with Crazies as he's coming up towards La Source. Let's see how that Beamer's acting there. Kino's doing really well in third at the moment. And Ben Milden, I can't drive the Merc. Ben is currently provisional fourth. Right, anyway, on the run down to Eau Rouge we go. Good luck today. Lely's in. Evening, Lely. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you, Michael. That was really kind of you to wish them a speedy recovery. Good man. Good man. Right, so Crazies comes over the top of Radion. There was no lift there, so that looks like he was obviously flat, which is good. And let's see how he gets on as we go into Lacombe, just before the curving on the brakes. So he goes second. You see he's tight on that curb, then he's off the power. He's going to use that one just to drag him through, get it back over to the left, tuck it in. So he was a little bit wide then for the second part of Lacombe, which caused him to be slightly offline. Into Brazils, into first, that's it. You've got to be patient, wait for that to grip up on the apex, slowly squeeze on the power. But he's doing so through No Name Corner there. Yeah, there's two ways through there. You're either going to get into third gear on the way out of Brazils. Is he going to do third or fourth here? And a fourth here. Okay. Obviously the Beamer's got good torque all the way through the gearing range, so you can leave it in a higher gear. But through No Name, you either want to keep it in third gear and just coast through there to get the line in, or as you get into third gear, certainly in the Ferrari, you then blip it down to second, and that will just help rotate the car slightly and pull her in more. But some of the heavier vehicles that are torquey, obviously you can stay in a higher gear and it's not going to affect you, which is what we're seeing Crazy's doing at the moment, as he comes up towards Blanchimont. So Faco, there's 29 drivers in at the moment, which is a full grid, because I obviously take up a spot because of the bug within the game. Yeah, so hence that's why I'm only in this view. I can only describe what I can see in front with the Deltas as Crazies comes through the bus stop. Let's see if he can improve. So he's 8 tenths down at the moment. Let's see what this one comes out at. So there's 29 in at the moment, which is a full grid, and by my reckoning from looking at who is in, Ben and Old and Slow, Ben Gallagher and that's Kimmy's dad, they're both reserves, so I don't know why they're in, mate. So again, try and get hold of Chris, see if he can help. So Crazies does improve by nearly 3 tenths, so he's now half a second down. Ben Gallagher, the reserve, who shouldn't be in tonight, is in third, so well done. That's a great time from you. Kino's in the pitch as a second down. Pony, his teammate, is fifth. Let's get on board of Pony and see how the Ferrari is handling around here as we're going through Stavolo. That could spin the car out. You don't want to climb that curve too much. She will get very unhappy with that. Ben's in 6th in the Merc, then GTJ is 7th, 1.3 down. Marty Road Racing is 8th. Rob 2K is 9th, and Andy Crass, good run from him at the moment, is 10th in his Merc. Granted, 1.7 seconds down, and we've only got 3.5 minutes left on the show. On qualifying. Good night. See you later. Right, Old and Slow, Kimmy's dad, who's the other reserve, shouldn't be in. He's currently in 11th place. Fearless Freak is 12th. Tony is 13th in the number 1 Merc. I love it. Want One is 14th. Elysium 15th. Hutch and the Bentley 16th, but he's 3 seconds down. Kagatacos is 17th. Tarek is currently in 18th in his Ferrari. I know he's going to want a better performance this week. Why haven't they sorted out the comms yet? Mate, they haven't done any of the updates from the first one, Gamer Dad, so I'm still waiting for that, my friend. Iceman Sean UK is currently in 19th place, as Pony was nicely flat through Eau Rouge and Radion there onto the Kemmel Straight. King and Hill's 20th, Lamaro is 21st, SJ Disco 22nd, 23rd. Cascanova's in 24th, 25th, obviously other people are putting times in, and then we've got Ash, Bruce, Dragon and Michael have yet to set a time. Interesting. No change up the top there. So Pony's coming down towards Bruzel's, hard on the brakes, he's got to be in first gear there, nice and tight, little squeeze, another squeeze, push it wide into second, and then into third, blip to second, tuck her in on the power now, so you can pull her slightly wide there. You can use that curb, and then in the run down to Puyon, again, look at the fence on the right hand side, the orange fence, down into third. You've then got to balance the car slightly, so a little dab of the throttle just to keep the car balanced, then hard on the power, keep it tight, run it out wide on the run up to campus. Bridge on the brakes down to second, get it tight. You can squeeze the throttle a little bit, then off the power again, and then where the curb, there's like a little gravel bit on the curb there, where that ends is where you should then be fully back on the throttle into Stavolo. That was better. Last time he took too much of that curb, so he's got a good run out of there, and he's flat through there as well. So this looks like a promising run from Pony at the moment. Michael Races has put a lap time in, his 30 thousandths off his teammate. That is pretty amazing. Well annoyed who's driving without checking in. Yeah, I get it, Superkart Ray. I do get it, mate. If I could change something, I would, but I can't. Unfortunately. And then into bus stop, hard on the brakes, trail it in into first. That's nice and tight through there. Little squeeze, off. Now squeeze the power on, run it wide. Okay, so Pony's 1.284 behind. That looked like a good lap. That was a good lap. A very good lap. He's now 6/10, so he's put himself into provisional 5th. So Traction's provisional pole alongside his teammate, another Northern lockout potentially, with the reserve Ben in 3rd. I'm going to stop saying the reserve because I feel like I shouldn't be saying that, but it is a fact. So Pony is going to give it a one more go, just about keeps it online there. Right, GTJ, well, I think I'm going to stick on with Pony at the moment because Michael's pitted, he's not going to do any more. Ben's pitted as well. Ben should pit and get out, but it's too late for that. Yeah, Mike Floppy, he's not racing. He's not in the grid. He got bombed out for some reason. Then when he went to log back in, we've had 2 reserves just decide to join in. So Faco and Superkart Ray are currently not with us, which is annoying. Because obviously Superkart Ray's got his fan club, and Faco, well, he's always with us, isn't he? So we shall see. Let's get the time up, because obviously my head, well, not my head, you know, my angelic aura, that's what we say, is slightly in the way of the clock. So we want to make sure that we're timing the race, so I know how far we've got left. Right, do I have cold coffee or is it still slightly lukewarm? Not bad. Right, there's your grid. Okay, Traction's still out. Okay, so that's great. He's not going to go down, is he? So your grid for the penultimate round, round 7 of the Taco Tuesday PS5 Championship. Traction Dave, congratulations, my friend. That is pole position for you, and you've locked out the front row with your teammate. Michael Races is only a 10th behind, so you did a 2:17.748. Impressive. Ben Gallagher starts on the second row. He is a reserve. Maybe Superkart Ray can have your points. I don't know. He starts alongside Crazies in 4th place. Pony Feeder is 5th. We saw that improved lap from him, which was pretty impressive. And he starts alongside GTJ in the Beamer. Ben, who's his first run in terms of full-time seat this evening, and first time in the Merc, he's 7th, so that's a pretty good run. And Kino DJ is 8th in the Ferrari. Rob 2K is 9th in the Beamer. Marty Road Racing in the other Merc is 10th. And then in 11th, we've got 1-1 Ferrari in the Ferrari, starting next to Old and Slow, which is Kimmy's dad in the McLaren. Andy is 13th in his Merc. He starts alongside Fearless Freak in the Beamer. Tony Tooney is 15th in the number 1 Merc, starts alongside Elysium. Oh no, where's Elysium? No, okay, so Smalley's done something there. Smalley's 16th in the Lexus. Elysium is 17th in his Merc. He starts alongside Bruges in the Bentley. SJ Disco in the McLaren. Okay, thanks very much. Come on, let's get back in there. Where are we at? So SJ Disco is 20th. Kagatako's 21st in the Porsche. Tarek in the Ferrari is 22nd with Lamaro, and he's 23rd in the Mercedes. Iceman Sean UK Bentley 24th. King of the Hills in his 888 Bentley 25th. Yavolton in his Bentley. There's a theme here. 26th. Cascanova in his Bentley, 27th. Dragon on Speed in his Porsche, 28th. And then Arnie Noir in the Ferrari is 29th. And then obviously you've got Ash and Superkart Ray are in the grid because they were in practice. Interesting, folks. Interesting. I'm a little bit sad. Tonight I will be in the top 10. Shame on you, Place Robber. Who's Place Robber? Never heard of that name before. Faco, these things shouldn't happen but have. That needs to be dealt with afterwards. But yes, I'm a bit sad as well. I wanted to see you do well this evening. So stay with us, mate. Watch the race. Get involved with the live chat. Have a bit of fun with the guys and girls. Or not. It's totally your choice, mate. So track conditions have dropped a degree in terms of ambient and on track. So 17 and 23. Yeah, I know, Gamer. Yeah, there's 2 reserves that are in that shouldn't be in. Yeah. But I think it's too late to do anything about that now, isn't it, really? Let me just, whilst this is doing, let me just put some on Discord. So, Kimmy's dad and Ben Gallagher should not be in. There we go. Well, I've put a message in there. I mean, if people come out now, I mean, it's not really gonna... It's gonna be too late for the other guys to get in. Yes. No. Reserve list said it was full, but to be on standby, my friend. Right, so I don't know what will happen if Kimmy's dad comes out. Will Superkart Ray be able to get in? So let's see. I mean, I can't influence that, and we're obviously just about to get into the race. So we've got an hour optimal track. Obviously, there's plenty of discussions going on. This is just like real life motorsport, isn't it? I mean, there's all this stuff going on in the pit lane behind that we can't all see. But there's a lot of stuff going on, believe me. Right. Yeah, I do take that point, Michael, and I don't disagree with it. We've got 12 watching so far. Thank you very much, everybody. Please drop a comment, a like. Let us know who you are, who you're supporting. If you're not already in the live chat, don't be shy. Everyone will get involved. It's all good. Traction and Michael have locked out the front row. Again, as I said before, if Michael can win this race, I'm not saying he can. I'm not saying Traction will want to do him another favour. Okay. So Sean reckons they can join, and he joined during the formation lap. We're going to see what's happening. There's some conversations going on behind the scenes. Let's see. Drama, right? I told you, and there's always drama. There's always drama, isn't there? And at the moment, there is drama going on. So if Ben and Kimmy's dad did come out, the other two should be able to jump in. Yeah, and he's saying Am's... Oh dear, oh dear. So we're trying to get Ams back in, but then we've got Faco and Superkart Ray. See, I don't think Tooney should be in. Well, we're about to get started, aren't we? So let's see. Right, so as we get ready, 8 seconds before the formation lap, I don't think there is going to be any changes I can't see. Well, someone's dropped out. Someone has come out of the server. Someone has come out of the server. As we go on to the formation lap. Right. Well, we might have a full... Oh, look, I'm in my car. Of course I am. Right, traction, Michael. I think I'm going to start on board with Ben. Yeah, we're going to get on board with Ben. Right, so Ams has come back in. And Ash is in. Come on boys, get it sorted as we're on the formation lap. Ah, okay. Interesting. So, as you can see, our cars can fly. Now, what is currently happening... So, I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to come back in. So, completely agree with this. Decision has been made at race control that we're going to restart, not the entire evening, obviously, but we're going to restart the server, okay, which will allow the correct individuals. Yeah, so obviously you're not allowed to look at what I'm typing here, but you probably will, so the whole world's gonna know. Anyway, what that said was buymeacoffee.com/comms by Coops. Now, I know I say this right, so we're back in now. Okay, so I told you we're going to have drama. You can't have amazing racing like this and all these racers and not have drama. You have drama in all the best racing series. Normally there's no drama. It's all, you know, very smooth and very well organised and operated, which this still is, but obviously we've got people, I said at the start, we had 6 reserves wanting to get in, and I think something's been lost in translation, that some maybe took the message to say be on standby just in case, as, you know, go, get in your plane, Maverick, and get in there and help Iceman, Sean UK. Yeah, so we'll see. You've seen the PC server drive? No, I haven't seen that, Michael. Haven't seen people hacking in there. Right, so let's now have a look. Marty's in, Andy's in, Ben's in, Chris is in, Iceman, Sean, Fearless, King of the Hills, Ash, Kaga, Hutch, Crazies, Traction, Bruges, Cascanova, Smalley. Oh, why is it... Well, yeah, I'm in there, but I can't drive, so I'm in. It's me. Great driver. Oh, no. I know what I've done there. Quit. You know what I did there? I did a schoolboy error there. I got excited, yeah, and I went into race. Obviously, I'm not in there to race. I'm in there to watch, so I have to use a different password, even though it doesn't really make any difference. But we'll do that anyway. Right. So remember, what I'm typing here is buymeacoffee.com, yeah, /comms by Coops. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, you can go onto that site, and it's a very small donations page, yeah, one-off donations of £2 or £4 or £5 million. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, sometimes people enjoy what we're doing. People, you know, appreciate it, understand the time it takes and all these great things, and yeah, sometimes people like to help, which is awesome. I'll always say thank you for that. So let's have a quick look. So Marty Road Racing is in, Andy's in, Ben's in, Chris is in, Iceman, Sean, Fearless, King of the Hills, Ash, Kaga, Hutch, Crazies, Traction, Bruges, Cascanova, Smalley, Tarek, Supercar Ray. Supercar Ray is in. Michael, Kino, Elysium, Ponyfeeder, Disco, 11 Ferrari, GTJ, Tooney is in still, Faco, Ams is in, which is correct, and then we've got Rob2K and Lamaro, so Faco is back in. We have a full grid of everybody that should be in. Now, to Ben and to Kimi. That will be disappointing because, especially Ben, you qualified third. So I get that will be quite annoying for you. Obviously, there needs to be some other messages go out. I thought it was pretty clear what the message said. It said we have a full grid tonight, chaps. Let us know if you can still be on standby. That was the message that went out on the reserve check-in on Discord. So, but good to know you got pace. I mean, I know Ben's been practicing for a few days. Every time I've popped in over the weekend, Ben's been in there plugging away. So, you know, I mean, if he did get a start tonight, he would be competitive, no doubt about that. So Ben Milden says, what the flippity flop was that all about? I've just said what it's about. Just saying, I'm not going to say it again. Another 15 minutes of feet up in the pits. Ash, why are you not going to go out there and set a time? Do you just want to chill from the back? You're going for an early pit stop? What's the plan? What's the plan? Yes, look, I've said already, it is harsh on Ben because he did well, and it's also harsh on Kimi. However, it was very, very clear that we had a full grid, and there was a clear message sent out to the reserve check-in that we had a full grid, yeah, but if you were still available to give a thumbs up if you were needed. That was the exact message that went out. So I know people get excited. I do the same thing. Yeah, I don't always, you know, I'll just go, oh, full grid, can you race, blah blah blah, thumbs up, yeah, I'm in, great, I'm in. That wasn't what was said. So we've had a very, very short free practice. This is going to put us straight back into qualifying, and again, I know this might now affect obviously the qualifying order that we had previously. So everyone that was, you know, kind of wiping the sweat off their brow and thinking, well, that's that done, thank God. Well, no, we've all got to do it again, which is like potentially bad for you, potentially good for you. We'll find out. Currently 12 with us. Good. 12 in, 9 likes. 3 likes needed. If you haven't pressed like, remember I've got this special software. I can see everything that's going on in your house. Claire will say, because I know she's had a haircut. Press the like button, please. It'll be absolutely amazing. And this has got to be cold by now, surely. Yes, you can, Ben. I have faith in you. Ben says he can't do that lap again. You can. You can do a better lap. Of course you can. You can do a better lap. Aim for... Oh, I just actually went out and set a lap time, as did Cascanova. Well, I suppose track time is track time, isn't it, at the end of the day? But yes, we do have everybody back in. If you're just joining us this evening and wondering why things are delayed, why qualifying is going to restart, we had a little bit of drama. There were some issues in the pit lane, in the paddock. That's all been sorted out now. Not our Michael Massey, otherwise it would be fixed. So our race directors have got involved. Well, we've all got involved really on Discord and sorted that out, which is a shame for Kimi and for Ben. They both did really well, but weren't due to be in. So yeah, we now have all 29 of our full-time drivers out there. So who is 16? Andy. So Andy's going out in his Merc. I've really nearly pressed drive then. So again, if you're not familiar with the format, it's a 15-minute qualifying session which we've just started. After that, we'll have a full hour's race, 1 mandatory stop. Tyres must be changed in that stop. Fuel, you can do what you like with. Again, so it throws up some quite interesting strategies. Some people are confident that their tyres will last a long time, so they'll do early stops. Others will go half-half. Others might go long and do a splash and dash. Who knows? The weather at Spa, we know, can be a little bit ropey, so that could change. And that could have an effect on things. At the moment, the weather guide is saying for the next 15 minutes there is no rain, so that will please everybody. Track temps have dropped again slightly, so 17 ambient, that's good for punching some good power. Track is 22, so slight adjustments will need to be made on the tyres there. So whilst we're in qualifying, we might as well, if people didn't catch the first qualifying session, we might as well do another lap guide when the chance rises. And again, please don't forget, the website, formularacingleague.co.uk. All the information is on there with regards to the current seasons. You know, this is Taco Tuesdays. We obviously race on a Sunday. There's one race left on that one. Then there'll be I think there's going to be a 3 or 4 week break for that. And in place of that, we've got a brand new Mixed Monday Championship starting, and that always gives some ridiculously good racing because we've got a mix of GT3 and GT4 cars together. Obviously, you know, a lot of our drivers are quick, and a lot of the quick drivers take the GT4 cars just to spice things up a little bit as we come into the source. So better charge your phone. Yeah, Claire, you better charge that phone. Quick, go charge it. Charge the phone. So yeah, we've got a new championship starting on the Monday. When Tacos finishes, I believe that's going to restart a couple of weeks after. Obviously we've got Tequilas, we've got Thunder, Thursday Night Thunder. Season 2 is upon us for our friends across the pond, all over the world. That's gone down a treat. They're completely oversubscribed, so that's fantastic news for George and Kev and the guys that are running that. So well done to you guys. We've obviously got our endurance on the Friday. There's tons of stuff going on PC, and obviously the PS4 leagues mirror what, well actually the they mirror what's going on this side of things as well. So it never ends, and it shouldn't, because everybody loves it. Yeah, and obviously what's happened earlier on is unfortunate for those 2 individuals, but they will get their chance. They definitely will. I can see it being 2 tiers next season. So just stick with it, guys. Yeah, that's my advice. Because you want to see you racing. We're obviously both good racers. As are the other 4 reserves that were sat there waiting to get in tonight as well. As we come up towards campus. That was a nice line through there. Early up change. Didn't want to get the wheels spinning up, which I understand, because in that Merc, she's got a rather large bottom, is what I will say. Has that Mercedes? Not that that's a bad thing. Not it's a good thing. I'm not saying anything about that. But yeah, she can get a bit tail happy. She's heavy. She's a heavy beast, and you don't want to be spinning the wheels off. That's for sure. As we come through Blanchimont up towards the bus stop, so again under the bridge, looking for the white line across the track. That's your braking point. All the way down to first, trail in, a little squirter throttle off, get her tucked in. As soon as you're apexing, you're not flat on the throttle, you're squeezing that throttle on. Again, you don't want the wheel spin, you don't want the car going out too wide. And Andy puts in, what was Andy's time? Wow, okay, Michael's not messing about, is he? Michael bangs in a 2:17.8 straight away. I was going to say Andy's time wasn't too bad, but he's pretty much 2 seconds off the pace. Crazy's has done a 1:18.8, and then Smalley's put a time in as well. So times are starting to come in, which is good news for all of us. Where is Traction? So Traction is starting his quick lap. Let's have a little watch of that, because he was on pole position last time, as we've got a Beamer coming out of the pits, nicely avoided. So yeah, website, all the information's on there, all the merch is on there that you can look at. You've got Patreon on there, you've got all the information about the series, you've got the newsletter on there that's done, you've got the Hall of Fame, which details every driver and their points and where they sit. You've got all the lap times that are on there, quickest laps. Pretty much is just, well, it's the Michael page really, apart from, I mean, IR Graham's got one on there, I believe, but Michael pretty much holds all of those. Which Timmy Blender wants them back. So yeah, loads of good stuff on there. As we go into Pure again, seeing that Ferrari just had to go into third, just pause for a second, and then up towards campus. Is he going to go into second? He is. Is he tight in there? Yep. Squeeze the throttle off, turn, look for the nice. That was very nice through there, nice line. Up towards Stavilo, on the brakes down to second. And then we're going to squeeze on the throttle. Good. Okay, who's messaged me on Discord? 1 second, ladies and gents. Let's just see. As we go up through Blanchimont, you're going to run flat through there, nice as you turn in. Interesting. That in 5th. Interesting traction. Come on, where's this message? It was just the announcement in the right. So again, apologies that we are delayed, but we are being treated to a second round of qualifying, which is all good. What did traction do with that time? A 10th off Michael, so 2:17.7 there as he goes on another hunt. Crazies is in third, a second behind. Ben's in fourth. Yeah, remember he said he couldn't do another fast lap time. Well, that's not a bad time, mate. GTJ's just put his Beamer into fourth though. Pony feeder in the Ferrari. Again, we saw in the last qualifying session, we saw him really improve by, I think it was about 8/10 in one lap. He's put himself provisional fifth, dropped Ben to sixth. Andy was first out the pits in the Merc. He's seventh at the moment. Ams is in. Obviously had to sit out the last one due to the issues that were going on. He's currently in 8th place. Tooney's 9th. Hutch is in 10th. Not a bad effort by you, Hutch. Rob 2K is 11th. Smalley is 12th. Superkart Ray, bosh. Let's give some of Superkart Ray's fans what they've been waiting for. I'm not just doing all Ferraris, but I want to give Superkart a little bit of time as he comes up through. I've got two coming out the pits. Got to be wary of that. That's all good. Is that Lamaro or Elysium coming out there, I believe. So Elysium is 14th. Kagataco is currently 15th. Bit of Speak 16th. Kino is 17th at the moment. Nearly 4 seconds off the pace, so I'm sure that will change. Your Volton is in 18th. We've got someone going off track in front there. That's going to put him off. Well, you can hear the throttle inputs, and she's now going to get all slippy on him. So that lap, he needs to go again. Iceman Sean UK is 20th in the pits. Cascanova 21st. Dragon on Speed is 22nd, and SJ Disco in the dancing Ferrari McLaren. My brain's getting confused and thinking about dancing at the same time as talking. It's never been a strong trait of mine, that's why I gave up the ballet. Mighty Road Racing hasn't set a time. North King of the Hills. Ash is in the pits. We know he's got his feet up. He's been telling us that in the live chat. Bruges is in the pits as well. Want One and Faco are out and have not set a time. I don't mean out, I mean they're out on track. So currently we still have a Michael and Traction lockout at the front. Come on, guys. Somebody get in there and challenge. Right. Superkart Ray. We'll keep an eye on where he is. He's 3 seconds off from 13th. As Kino comes into campus. Nice and tight in there. That's good. Nice. Squeeze the throttle on. Don't need to go too crazy there. Into Stavolo. Now I would say he was braking too late in there, but then he's got good brakes. And I don't have good brakes, so I brake one back at Pouillon. And just see how it goes. Right, let's see what Kino can do. He is 4 seconds off the pace. He needs an improvement on this lap. 5 minutes left of qualifying. Track conditions haven't changed. We do have an opti track though, so that should allow people to punch slightly quicker times. Hard on the brakes. Much later. Stop nicely as well. Yeah. Right, come on, let's see what you got. 17th to 5th. A minor improvement there, Kino. Well done. That was a great lap, mate. Well done indeed. So, and you're still really slow compared to like Michael. I mean, you're 1.5 off the pace. However, you are in the competitive pack. I think Michael and Traction are probably just going to set up their own server today and have their own little race because they are miles ahead. Right, GTJ, well, he's not going to go any further than that, is he? Let's have a look at Crazies. Let's see if he can try and gate crash that party and split those two Ferraris. Is that likely? He's 1.5 seconds off the pace. Don't know, but again, look at Kino and Pony. Remember what I said about last week and their positional finish? They're doing the same again today. And, you know, you can't overemphasise having good team finishes and being consistent helps you win championships. It really does. We saw it in a previous championship where it was who was it? Will Friedman. I think it was Will and Crazies actually, and they were in the Nissan, which obviously was not the quickest car. It was nowhere near the quickest car. But over the course of the season, they both just kept banging in top 5, top 8s together, and they won the championship. So there's a lot to be said about that. So Michael puts it in the pits, 2:17.4. That is an impressive time. 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. Crazies and GTJ look at this stage to be the only two that could potentially challenge them. They've still got to find well over a second to challenge Traction, really. So we'll see what happens. Still, everyone's getting their laps in, aren't they? Which is a good thing. Right, further down, I just want to see the finish on this lap, and then we'll have a look further down the grid. So Ben's back up to 7th, that's good. Andy's 8th, Marty 9th, and Adam's 10th. Okay. So those guys are all doing pretty well. Right, come on, Crazies. What are you going to post, my friend? What are you going to post? Got a bit wide there. So I've probably lost a 10th. Crazies puts it into 3rd. So he does improve, that's great. He's moved from 4th to 3rd. But he's still over a second behind Michael. That is, as I said, I haven't seen 17s before until earlier on, and we've got 2 of them in the 17s. So that's some next level pace. And look at Ben. Wow, considering Ben said he couldn't go any faster, he's just put that Merc up into 5th. Well done you, mate. That's a fantastic lap. Kino and Pony, Andy, Marty and Ams, there's your top 10. Tooney's in 11th, Hutch is 12th, Rob 2K is currently 13th. Supercar Ray, well, he's trying again, because obviously the last lap was a bit messed up, as we saw. Definitely got distracted by a wandering Mercedes. 1-1 is in 16th, sorry, and then 17th now. Fearless is 18th in the pits, Cascanova's 19th. Limaro, who we were having a look at earlier, is currently in 20th. King of the Hills, we've had a look at Lamar already. Let's have a look at King of the Hills in a Bentley as he takes a completely different line through there. Thank you, King of the Hills. Kaga Taco's in the Porsche. Kaga likes a bit of airtime, doesn't he? Eh? Not that he's flamboyant at all. I mean, look, that's a very sort of very dour-looking Porsche, yeah? With those non-bright colours on it. Volton is 23rd at the moment in his Bentley. Iceman Sean UK, his teammate, is probably 5 tenths behind him. Dragon on speed, and the other Porsche is in the pits. He's 5.5 seconds off the pace. Vaco, who is in, yeah, with his best buddy SJ Disco, those two are bringing up the rear in terms of time set. And then Ash and Bruges are just chilling by the look of it. Traction's brought that time down, so it was 3 tenths, it's now 1.5. So he is trying to get his pole position back. And those two are going to have a right little chat afterwards. Or they're probably doing it right now on their streams, to be fair. Right, so Kaga didn't improve there, still 22nd. Traction's going again, so Traction is trying. Let's get on board with him. This is his last go, yeah, so it's all or nothing for Traction now. Can he redeem himself and take pole position like he did in the first qualifying session, or is he going to have to settle for 2nd place? And again, remember I was saying at the top of the show, in terms of the standings, if Michael wins this evening and Crazies doesn't have a very strong race, given the points gap between them, Michael could win the championship this evening. So he'll be keen to start on pole, and they've probably got a little wall between them, that whoever qualifies ahead obviously gets the run, yeah, and the other person will stay with them, but we'll probably do a little bit of defensive action, shall we say. So we'll see. Ben's still 5th, but Kino's moved himself. Kino's still 6th. Rob split those two. Good time from Rob. Rob's always in and around 5th to 8th, so I bet they're sick. Do you know what? I bet they are sick of seeing each other this season, or not, because you get used to how other people drive, and that's part of the beauty of the league racing. So Marty's now stuck it up into 8th. So those two are making a bit of a move, which is good. That puts Pony into 9th. Andy 10th, Hutch 11th, and Ams is now 12th in the pits. Hutch is going again. Tooney's 13th, Smalley is 14th, then we've got Elysium in the Merc is 15th, Supercar Ray 16th, 1-1 in the other Ferrari 17th, Lamaro 18th, Fearless Freak 19th, and Cascanova is currently in 20th place and he's still out on track. So qualifying's finished, people can finish these last laps. Traction, what are you going to do, my man? You're 1.56 down. He does improve, but only by a few thousand. So Kino is the next to cross the line. He's going to hope that he can put his Ferrari a little bit higher up the grid. It is absolutely crazy when you think about the lap times that GTJ, Crazies, Ben, Kino, yeah, they're all setting. Well, look at it, he's in the 17s. So GTJ's in the 18s. Crazies is in the 18s. Ben is in the 18s. Kino is in the 18s. I mean, these are ridiculously fast times. Ridiculously fast. And they are miles away from Traction and Michael. And I mean miles away. Right, Kino, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to do PB? Let's see. I'm sure Claire and Katie... You do. He moves up a place. Nice. Well done, Kino. Well done you, my friend. That was a great last lap. So, there's your grid, everybody. And what kind of view is that? I mean, I don't know what kind of view that is. Let's go there instead. Right, so the grid for qualifying 2, because we're very special here at FRL. Michael Races is now on pole position. Well done to you with that astonishingly quick lap. Traction Dave, well done to you for your astonishingly quick lap. And Claire is all a whoopee whoop. Yes, no doubt. GTJ is 3rd. Absolutely amazing lap, mate. It's a 2:18, so you can't complain about that, but you're a 2nd off the pace. Crazies is in 4th. Kino managed to put his Ferrari into 5th on the very, very end of qualifying there, so well done. Ben, in his Mercedes that he can't drive, has done quite well considering he has that handicap. He's 6th. Rob 2K 7th. Marty Road Racing is 8th. Pony Feeder 9th, and Andy Cray makes up your top 10. Hutch is 11th. Ams, who's obviously just had 1 qualifying session instead of 2, is 12th. Tooney is 13th. He's alongside Smalley. Then we've got Alicio and Supercart Ray. 1-1 Ferrari 17th. Lamaro 18th. And then we've got Fearless Freak 19th. Kagatacos rounding out the top 20. 21st, we've got Cascanova. Then King of the Hills 22nd. Yvolton 23rd. Faco is 24th. Iceman Sean UK 25th, Dragon On Speed 26th, and SJ Disco 27th. They are the guys that set their times. We've got Ash, Bruges, and me, and Tarek. Obviously, I'm not in the race. I'm sat here doing ziccoms. So yeah, there's your grid. So, wow. I think, have I clocked on my... Hold on a minute. I need to put in my overtime to James. Dear James... Time and a half for additional... No, not time and a half. I charge by the word, don't I? 5 million extra words said... Invoice to me. Thank you. I know he said no straight away. Oh, well, that's fair enough. Right, get the timer ready. Okay, that is ready. Stone cold coffee. We don't want that. We'll have a little sip of water, though. 9 with us. Welcome, everybody. Has been a bit of a elongated session, to say the least, on that front. But yeah, back in the game, said Supercart Ray. Bosh! Come on, Supercart Ray! You've only got 6 places to make up, my friend, for you to consider this evening worthwhile. Yeah, anything less than that, I'd probably be sad. And Ben says, okay, I lied. Yeah, I mean, to be fair... I was watching Ben practice, and he was easily doing 2:17s. I think he's sandbagging, to be fair, and just pretending because it's his first full-time race that he can't drive that car. He wasn't really doing 2:17s, but so I'm going to start on board with you, Ben. Okay, that's what we're going to do. You're going to show us. He's thinking, no, don't. I have to. I can't go anywhere else. Again, if anyone's new to watching, we've got an hour's race coming up. There will be 1 mandatory stop. Weather looks good at the moment. Next 15 minutes is all cloud. Optimum track. 18 degrees is our ambient temperature, which is good for the engines to breathe and push out more power. And on track is 24. Perfect. Perfect conditions for, as we've already seen, rather quick lap times. So, oh boy. Oh boy, yeah. There's no emoji on that one, mate. Not at the moment. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this. We are actually getting into the race. I want to know what Traction and Michael are going to do. It doesn't really matter what they're going to do. If they can get clean out down the Kemmel Straight and through Lacombe, I think, bar any major issues or pit stop issues, they should be all right. Crazies has got a lot of work to do this evening. Obviously, he needs to maximise his points as much as he can. PS to Ben, I know you're watching pit lane start. Yeah, whatever. You ain't starting in the pit lane. Don't give Crazies a love tap, yeah, because people have been loving him a lot recently, and I'm sure he doesn't want one from you or anybody else. Okay, so I'm trying to help a guy out. But yeah, so are we ready? Are we ready for the penultimate round of the Taco Tuesday Championship? We know there's a lot on the line. There's a lot of people that are very close to the championships. There's a lot of fine margins between the teams as well. And we're ready. We've got under 30 seconds as Ben goes into his setup and back out again, and in and out. Oh, I thought we were playing a game, Ben. Ferrari's been, yeah, they will. They will. I believe that they will. So, your race is directly in front of you, my friend. Merc versus the Beamers. Let's see what happens. So, formation up and away. Here we go. Oh, why am I in that? That's put me in my car. I'd love to take it out. I really would, but I'd get in so much trouble. Can you imagine the trouble I'd get in? Right, on we go with Ben. So, obviously full formation lap. Within FRL, we evidently encourage people. That's the right word. Encourage people not to go driving through the cars. Yeah, we have a very set format in terms of the formation lap. We want people to be able to drive as you would do on a normal track. In single file, you've got the opportunity to warm your brakes and tyres, same as everybody else. We don't want people dropping back and then doing a massive burnout and trying to catch up. Ooh, my internet lagged and all this stuff. We don't do that. And we certainly don't want people driving through others either. So we do try to simulate, what happens in the real world. But these guys are faster than that. So where are the battles going to happen today? Well, I'm interested to know. It looks like Ash is going to start from the pits by the look of it. So Bruges and Ash, they didn't even set time, so I don't know what their pace is, which could be quite interesting to see if they can come back through. Hopefully, I think they're probably hoping to avoid any potential chaos through a Rouge. Let's have a look further down. So Lamaro's 18th. I don't think he's going to be particularly happy with that, but Elysium's only in 15th, so maybe he will be happy with that. Obviously, first rule is beat your teammate, not with a stick on the track. Yeah. Smalley and Tooney, they've done well there. Ams's put a good lap in, considering he hasn't really, he had to jump into the second qualifying session, or the re-qualifying session, I should say, and that is a very good effort by Hutch. I mean, the Bentley will be strong round here, she's a big, heavy, long wheelbase brute, so she will add that stability and she'll be able to carry her pace well. So that's a good effort from you, Hutch. I believe you are. Yes, you are. You are the leading Bentley. Well done. Nice. Right, as we go through Puyon, this is obviously the slowest you're going to see them going around any of these corners this race. Again, a quick reminder for you all, PS5, the bug, I can't do anything else other than this view. Okay, so if you're just joining us and you haven't seen this before and you're wondering why the hell is Comms by Coops just sat in the car, that's what I can do, okay? And I've been doing that all season. I remember the first race of this season, I was thinking, man, they're going to fix this with a patch. We're now into race 7, and it all feels pretty normal to me now. Hopefully we can still bring you guys all of the coverage where we need it. Now remember, the computer will have a brain freeze on the left hand side as we go through the start of the first lap, so all the delta times, the positions are going to mess themselves up until they're through those first kind of timing areas, so you'll have to bear with that. It will sort itself out and be able to pick it up, look at the deltas, figure out the battles and try and second guess what people are thinking and doing, and see if we can come up with the right results. So that's it, boys and girls. It's not backed by Kanga either in the Porsche. He should do alright in that Porsche, I think. Superkart Ray hasn't had a great qualifying, I don't think, by his standards. He'll certainly want to move up the grid a little bit. Nice man Sean, yeah. I think he just wants to have another consistent clean race, and that is progress for him in every race. I totally agree. And he was saying the other day after the last, he's absolutely loving it. He loves the competition, he loves the driving. That's all you want to hear from our drivers, isn't it, really, that they are, they're happy. So as we come up towards the bus stop, I will Supercar ready for the win. Mr. Lawrence, good evening, sir. Hope you are well, mate. Hope you are well. Don't think he's going to win. He's 16th, but top 10 is still possible, so we'll see. But that is very optimistic of you. Like me being a COF fan, we're going to get promoted to the Premier League this year. No, we're not. Definitely not. Right. So now we're all going to form up 2 by 2. So we've got the run down the back straight here to La Source. We'll go around the Source and then we start on the other side of the track. Now, for those of you that are looking at like Traction Dave and Michael and thinking these guys are just like ridiculous, they are. But it comes from practice. They practice so much to the extent I got a clip of Traction doing practice a few weeks ago at Spa. And he came into the pit lane, which is there, and he stopped on this part and was like, "Where's my pit box?" There's no pit box, but obviously it's around this side. So again, if you don't do these things, yeah, sounds simple. If you don't do these things, you won't know for the real race. So right, anyway, I'm going to shut up now. We're going to get the start ready to go. So we're 5 hours into this stream. We're about to start the race. Jokes. Right, anyway, are we ready, guys? Michael, Traction, GTJ, and we are green. Okay, so we're on the run down towards Eau Rouge and Rayon. So top 6 have all gone through okay at the moment. I'm not going to obviously come off this because Traction got a run. Traction, he might get a run on him. GTJ is okay, and then Crazies isn't managing to make up any room on them at the moment. Okay, so Ben is doing nicely in 6th. Then we've got Rob. Rob's just having a little look there. We've got a move going on. No. Again, so the computer's doing its thing now, so bear with it. So who's that in front there? Is that Kino getting into a bit of a tussle? It does look like that. Yeah, Kino's getting into a tussle with Ben. Ben's made a move. Okay, so maybe that's because the Merc's heavy. Yeah, she is heavy. Maybe that just allowed Ben a little bit more stability than what Kino would have in that Ferrari, because we know that she is temperamental, to say the least. So Crazy looks like he's got to make a move on GTJ. He's certainly showing the nose, both in the same machine. So again, it's going to be difference between driver skill, setup, track knowledge, all those bits, and how your racecraft is. Up front, Michael and Traction are quite happily just leading it out in formation. 3 tenths between them, half a second back from Traction to GTJ, and then we've got Crazies is just behind him. Ben is in 5th, as we know. We're still on board Crazies at the moment. So Kino is in 6th, Martin Road Race in 7th, Pony Feeder's gone up a spot into 8th, so that means Rob 2K has actually dropped 2 places. He qualified 7th, he's down in 9th. Andy Craig, who's gone off there? Someone's just had themselves a little bit of a wander. Hutch is still in 11th, Ams 12th, Tooney, Smalley, Elysium, 1-1 Supercar Ray's dropped a spot there. Lamaro still 18th, Kagatakos has made a spot, he was 20th. King of the Hills 20th, Phyllis is 21st, Cascanova, and then we've got Faco, Yavolta, Iceman, Sean, so he's got off nicely. Lord, Ash, Wilson, and SJ Disco. So, hasn't been many moves at the moment, which is, I'd say, good, because that means everyone is driving nice and clean at this moment in time as we start lap 2. I didn't press start. Right, we'll have to do that to 48 minutes, 58 minutes, that's what we'll do with that. Right, so through the source we go the second time. So Michael, he's quite happy there, he's not under any undue pressure. Traction is a second behind, so you know, does Traction need to catch him up? Let's be honest, he doesn't, does he? Not really. Not in terms of the title. If they get a 1-2, that's going to be fabulous for the team championship. Obviously Michael's good in for that number 1 spot again. GTJ, he's 7 tenths behind, and then Crazies is another 6 tenths behind, so they're gapping as you would expect. Ben is now a full second and a half behind, and Kino, but Kino's still all over the back of Ben as we come into Lacombe. So I think you will see as Kino's tyres get to where they need to be, he will be able to start mounting some attacks on Ben. And obviously Ben did a fantastic qualifying job there, no doubt about that, and he's a very, very skilled driver. I've watched him a lot, but he hasn't really been in that Merc too much. So how is he going to cope under pressure from Kino, when Kino obviously knows that Ferrari extremely well? It's going to be one to watch. So Marty is keeping a watching brief on those 2 in 7th. Pony Feeder. So interesting, this is the 2 teams, isn't it? Yes. So we've got Ben in the Merc team, then Kino, and then we've got Marty, who's Ben's teammate, and then we've got Pony Feeder. Interesting, boys. Right, we'll stick on this for now because it's very, very close. Rob 2K is still 9th, so Pony's only a 10th behind there as well, so they're applying pressure to those Mercs, alright. Hutch is holding himself in 11th place. He's 7/10ths behind Andy at the moment in 10th, and Ams is only a couple of tenths behind him. So that looks pretty interesting. So Hutch, he wants to make a move on Andy. He's got a good run out of there. Can we get a move done? We'll keep an eye on all of those times at the top as we're watching this at the moment, as we're coming through Blanchimont. He's going for the inside line. He's not going to try and swing it through there. Blimey, Hutch. Great driving. Great driving. I bet Andy had a little bit of a moment there, I think, because any tap there, I mean, just the teeniest of taps, and you're both out of there. Andy says, nah, I'm pitting straight away. I want to get into clean air. Makes sense. They're all fighting at the moment. Might not be fighting really closely, but they're all in dirty air, so that might be a smart move. No change up top. Michael's extended his lead. GTJ still third. Crazy's fourth. Ben's now got just over half a second on Keno, and then again Marty Road Racing and Ponyfeed, their teammates, have also gapped out by about a second. So Hutch elevates himself into the top 10. Well done, buddy. And then we've got Ams who's following him. He's the only Lexus in the race this evening, I believe. So interested to see how the Lexus will get on tonight. Elysium was up to 12th, that's pretty good. Want1 is 13th, Tooney is 14th, so he's dropped a couple of spots. Then Lamaro has got himself up to 15th, and who has gone off the track? Elysium. Oh dear, so Elysium's had an issue there, and Ams has taken advantage of that. Is Lamaro. Lamaro's all over the back of him. I believe Kaga's pretty close. Right, this is a nice three-way battle, guys, as we're coming down into Brussels. So we've got Kaga Tacos in the Porsche. Beautiful car is the Porsche. Chris Gedwin absolutely adores this car. If you can get her to work right, she's pretty... Oopsie daisy, that was a bit wide. That might have been a track warning there. I'd say she's pretty epic, but she's so aero-dependent. You've really got to have that art of balancing the car. When I say balancing the car, I don't mean, what do I do with my setup? I mean the art of using your pedals, and it's not on or off on either. It's a little dance. You've got to be really, really intricate with the inputs that you do to keep the weight distribution and therefore the aero in check on that Porsche. So fair play to anybody that manages to push that car properly. So he's trying to get involved with Lamaro. It looks like he is gaining on him, and Tooney, who was really being sucked in by Lamaro, then has definitely, well, he's managed to break free a little bit. It's probably because Lamaro is too busy thinking about Kagatacos and what he's going to do to him as they go through Blanchimont. There's another close battle just in front there with Want1 and Elysium. We've got a dive bomb coming. Nah. I wouldn't have thought so. Up top, no change. Top four is fine. Ben, Keno, Marty, Pony. Right, so that's our top 10. We can see what the gaps are. We'll keep an eye on that as we look further down the grid. Supercar Ray for Matthew and Co. He's in 17th at the moment, set 1.6 behind Kagatako. So he's got a little bit of work to do. That fight in front is turning into a 5-car battle, which I like to see. In fact, I need to go there, because if there's any mistakes there Rouge already on, we'll catch it straight away. So we've got these 5 that are all nice and close. Concentrate, boys. Down change. Wow, I've never seen anyone down change before. Excuse me, going into a Rouge Radio. That was interesting. Right, Cascanova is in 19th at the moment. He's just having a quick look out. Thanks, Cascanova, for giving me that beautiful view there. 19th, King of the Hills, you can see is in front of him, just going into Lacombe at the moment. 8 on the brakes. Look how deep. How deep was King of the Hills on the brakes then? I mean, that's fantastic trail braking. Cascanova obviously just lives down the road from the track, literally. We saw his house earlier in Discord. So this is definitely his home race, as King of the Hills goes quite deep there into Brussels. Your Volton, he's looking to catch up. Wow, and there's deep, and then don't sing it. Don't sing it. So Chris is in 20th at the moment in the 79 Bentley. Was only 3/10ths off the back of Cascanova. That has definitely grown. Faco is 21st, as you can see. Dragon on speed in the sister Porsche is 22nd. He's only 8/10ths behind Faco, so that could develop later on. And SJ Disco in the other McLaren, well, he wants a piece of Dragon, doesn't he? As they go into Campus, hard on the brakes, down into second. Again, the McLaren is another car which a lot of people like Keddy, right? within FRL, and a lot of other drivers absolutely swear by the McLaren. That she is just amazing. Again, I think you've got to have, as dragging on speed takes a little bit too much to the curb there on Stavolo, you've got to have really good balancing skills. And look how much he's catching him up there. You know, just that clip of the curve, that's obviously scrubbed some speed. We've got the toe, and SJ Disco looks like you're always going to run really wide there. Are we going to have a fight back? Something's just happened there. Castanova comes through. Supercar race through. Kagatacos is right on the back of Lamaro as we come up on the brakes. He's looking to go down the inside. That move is not... Oh, God, get it tucked in. Wow, I didn't think that move was on. That was a very, very late braking manoeuvre there by Kaga. They both kept it clean. They were side by side through the source there, and Lamaro's managed to get the better run. Obviously, Kaga was really tight on his entry and exit to the corner, so had to wait to get the power on, and we've got a spinner there. Was that Lamaro? No, that was Elysium, wasn't it? It was Elysium. So Lamaro's teammate Elysium's had himself a little issue at the top of Radions, probably clipped the curve on the way in through Rouge, and that's obviously got her spinning. So unlucky there, Elysium. Back to Kagatacos is now up to 14th place. That puts Lamaro up to 13th, so he'll be happy about that to a degree. Up top, Michael is still leading, 1.2 seconds ahead of traction. GTJ is still third, 3.3 seconds behind, so he's not challenging anytime soon. Then Crazies is keeping him honest. He's under a second behind GTJ in fourth. Ben still in fifth, so yeah, he's obviously getting used to that moment by now. Kino still in 6th place, 1.25 behind. It looks like your top 10, which hasn't changed because it's still Marty, Pony, Rob 2K and Hutch. The gaps are all very similar. It looks like they're all beginning to find their rhythm now, and they're finding what their pace is, so you can expect it to settle down a little bit. People might start pushing before pit stops, but I think everyone's pretty much in their groove in the top 10. Amzi's still 11th. 1-1 is 12th. Lamaro's just in front of us at 13th, but he's got Kaga all over the back of him. It says 4 temps. No way is that 4 temps as we're going to Stavolo. We've had an extra stab of the brakes there from Lamaro, so he obviously went in deep and then realised that's not going to work. He's damped the brakes again there, so he's feeling the pressure. Kaga's completely in that slipstream. We know the Porsche's quick. Yes, the Merc has legs. As you can see, she has legs, but I'm expecting potentially a move under braking. Needed to get an earlier turn in than that. You just had to back out the power sliding. Tooney's still in 16th. He's only... Wow, okay. I'm going to have to move off this in a moment, because Supercar Ray, he's also just behind, and Tooney and King of the Hills. We've got these 5. This is brilliant. These guys give me so much every week. I absolutely love it. So there's King of the Hills, as you can see, in 17th. He can see all of that that's happening in front. Tooney's pretty close to Supercar Ray, and wow, he's got to make a move on Supercar Ray because he goes wide. Supercar Ray was trying to get onto the back of Kagatacos but couldn't, so Tooney, he now picks up the toe on the run down to Rouge. Are we going to be brave? Yeah, you're not going to make a move in there, are you? So the 2 in front, they get through. Okay, Supercar Ray gets through fine, as does Tooney. King of the Hills also follows them through. So we've got a very interesting battle here. You've got 4 cars. Any mistake by either of these, and people are going to be in, well, in the brown stuff. Ash has just made a move on Faco. So remember, Ash didn't set a time. He was just chilling in the pits for the start of this race. He's made it up to 20th at the moment. Dragon on speed is okay, so just behind Faco. So these 3 are all nose to tail as well. Remember, Faco nearly didn't make this race because of the reserve issue earlier on, but gladly is in. Smalley's there in 22nd, who's apparently been giving out Rona to everyone. When I say everyone, I mean his mate Rod. Uvolton is still 23rd. He's close, so these guys, look at this. Look, we've got 2 packs of 5. We're not on about apples or anything like that, but we've got 2 close packs of 5 here doing battle. We're not on the front of the grid. We're not. We've got a mid-pack, we've got a back-pack. And not a bag. I've got to stop these dad jokes tonight. Dale would be loving this if he was with us tonight, but I think I've over dad joked him, to be fair. Iceman Sean UK, 24th. Okay, you're 5 seconds off the pace. Who cares, buddy? Keep it going, collect your points. Disco's in the pits. Elysium's in the pits as well. Obviously, he's looking at the greatest car on this grid and in this series. Just hasn't been driven. You know what I'm saying? 101 Ferrari. Bruges, he has completed his pit stop. Andy, interesting. So, earlier on, I'm sure I saw Andy come into the pits. I'm 100% positive we were on board and Andy ducked it into the pits. Now, whether he didn't do his stop or whether he's had a drive-through or something like that, I don't know. I haven't seen that message come up. So that's interesting as to why he's in. Fearless Freak, he's still running. He's plumb last at the moment, 3 laps down, but he is still in the race. Anything can happen. So, back up top, Michael. Let's give him a little bit of airtime. There he is. Look, he's going really fast. Okay. Traction, he's going really fast too. He's 2.2 seconds behind. Then we've got a gap of 4.3 as those two, you can see, just off into the distance going through Lacombe. GTJ must be thinking, right, there is no way, yeah, those two aren't even in this race, I'm going to win my race. Crazies is in 4th, and he's not that far behind. This is really important for Crazies tonight, really important that he can maximise his points, because any cars between him and Michael, he's just got to make it really difficult, if not impossible, next week without any DNFs. Ben is doing an admirable job in 5th place at the moment. Remember, he's literally just secured that perm seat in a car he doesn't know, and look what he's doing. Doing very well. Aquino's doing another great job this evening in that Ferrari. He's running in 6th place. Yeah, he's 2 seconds off the pace of Ben. Doesn't matter, it's points. Points are what we want. Marty is not that far behind. He can see his prey, but Pony can see his teammate, and he's got Marty in the way. So again, I'm sure he's going to want to try and get up there now for his teammate. Rob 2K is still up in the top 10 in 9th, and then Hutch still holding 10th place, only 1.4 behind Rob. I'll say, apart from that corner there, Hutch is doing really well today actually. So, but Ams in the Lexus, right? He's under a second behind. Kagatako's, Tooney and Co, they're still having this battle. We've got to get on board and have a look, haven't we, really? So, Supercar Ray, as you can see, is in front as we go through Stavolo 1. Then we've got Kagatako's just behind. Then we've got Tooney just behind. And then we've got King of the Hills, who I think he has slowly crept up onto the back of these guys. They are battling with each other, so they're probably slowing each other down a little bit. But King of the Hills is actually in a good position. We've got a double yellow warning there. Can't see any on the minimap though. And there we go. Kagatako's have just gone wide. That's going to allow Tooney. Tooney goes to make a move. We've got Bentley. That's Hutch. So Hutch has had an issue there. That was a double waved yellow. Tooney was obviously distracted by him, so he goes wide. Supercar Ray goes through. Kagatako's is there as well, and Tooney. So Tooney could have taken a place then, but obviously his position, I think, was wise not to. King of the Hills is still there, and Hutch has gone from 10th down to 15th. He's not going to be a happy chappy with that. But hey, that is racing. Crazies is now only 3 and a bit tenths off the back of GTJ. I think we need to have a little look at this one as they go through Lacombe. This is the fight for the podium position, remember. Michael is out front, although Traction has pulled that gap back. It was 2.2 seconds, it's now only 1.3. So maybe Traction does want to actually go racing with his teammate. We shall find out. Keno is still 5th, Benny's still 5th, Keno is still 6th. No change there, no change from Marty with Pony either. And then Rob is still 9th, Ams is up to 10th, obviously. Hutch was 10th a few corners ago, and then obviously had an issue. We had double waved yellows, couldn't see it on the track. Then we saw him at the side of the track, and he's dropped himself down to 15th, which has allowed an absolutely amazing battle, which we've been watching for a lot of this race between Supercar Ray, Kagatako's Tony, and King of the Hills. I mean, Hutch is now dropped right into the middle of that. That's Tooney's got that move done. Yeah, Tooney's got past Kagatako's. So we have, what's that going on there? So 1-1, Supercar Ray. So Rob 2K, who is that? Marty? No, it's not. There's a beamer in there. It's not Ash. Anyway, so Bruges has pitted, SJ Disco's pitted, Elysium's obviously pitted, and Andy, he has completed his pit stop now. Lamaro is currently in the pits. Well, his windscreen didn't look that bad earlier on, so he's obviously having off somewhere. Dragon on Speed still 23rd, Iceman Sean UK 22nd, Cascanova's in 21st, and Revolton is in 20th. You can see he's only half a second behind Faco. in the McLaren, and Ash is moving up the grid. He's up to 18th now, so as he's slightly wide there, I would suggest. And Smalley's going to try and fight that off. Smalley turns in, and we've got Ash. So who's that in the pits? That's Hutch got into the pits, I believe. Smalley's carried on, yeah, so Hutch has come in to get his pit stop done, and then we've got Kaga. So Tooney has moved away from Kaga slightly now, so King of the Hills has got involved there. Remember, he was fourth in that quartet. He had a watching brief for quite a few laps, and I said he was slowly catching them up, and the others were back in and holding each other up. He is now at the head of that pack. Apart from this guy, Superkart Ray has broken away 4 seconds, so I'm sure there's been a coming together there, maybe between Kaga, Tooney and King of the Hills. Again, didn't see that, so I'm just speculating. Superkart Ray is up to 12. And that will please some of you watching tonight. So you've got 9 with me at the moment. Thank you very much. Please say hi, drop a like, yeah, say something. Happy to get involved with all of you, and everyone else in the chat will join in as well. 1-1 Ferrari is actually having a very solid race this evening, quietly going about his business. He's in 11th place, no dramas so far for him, just putting the lap times in, keeping it clean. Consistency, as we always say, is the most important ingredient within ACC. Ams is doing a good job as well, no change there. Rob2K, he's coming up towards Stavilo. Again, he's very comfortable in that Beamer. He's been a very good competitor this season, very consistent, always again between 6th, 8th. He's always in the top third of the field. Pony's having a good race today. He can see Marty Road Racing up front. Again, in terms of the team championship, look, you've got Michael Traction there in their team. GTJ, oh, man, the Crazies wants a piece of him, doesn't he? So you can see he's all over the back of him in that rearview mirror. He's gone to the left. So GTJ's gone defensive into La Source. This Crazy's going to try and get a cutback. You know he is, but some nice placement, shall we say, for GTJ in his Beamer. Just blocked off the apex slightly, which obviously meant Crazies couldn't get on the power, otherwise they would have made contact. So he's paused, and then GTJ, he could get on the power earlier. And that is the difference in terms of racecraft and track knowledge, to keep yourself ahead or make a move. As we said, so in terms of teammates, Michael and Dave are up there doing their thing in their team, as Crazy just sticks his nose out down the Kemmel Straight. I don't think that's going to put GTJ off. He is experienced, very experienced. Oh dear, Ben's had an issue there. Oh, Ben has had an issue. Where's he gone? Ben's floppy bonnet as he goes through the coombe. So I think Ben has had an issue coming out of Eau Rouge and Radion. He's probably had a little bit of a spin, tapped the wall, and that's probably put him round, done a 360 maybe. Definitely had contact with that wall as Rob goes up the inside of him. So I'm expecting Ben to get in the pits. He's definitely driving with damage. So just get your pit stop done, do what you need to do, Ben, and get back out, mate. That's what you need to do. So yeah, but as we were saying, teammate wise, as Crazies, as we go up towards campus, that was some nice driving. He's not quite close enough to make a move, but again, this is the beauty of racecraft. This is why we love watching this. Anyone watching is like, well, someone's just driving. They're not just driving. These guys are playing chess. Yeah, they're trying to figure out who's strong where, or they're trying to lead them down a path of thinking, okay, Crazies always makes a move here, or Crazies is thinking, right, GTJ would always go defensive in this way here, and he'll watch it for laps. Yeah, we've got a whole hour race, right? Not catching Traction and Michael. It's not happening. They're 8 seconds down the road. This is the race, these two. So they're just watching each other. They're trying to figure each other out, and at some point they'll try something different that will go against the grain of what's been happening over the previous X amount of laps, or it will come down to the pit stop. And we know Mr. Crazies is lightning in the pits. He just is. He's amazing. So Kino, he's holding station really well. He's scoring good points, as is Pony Feeder. So that team is scoring good points. Marty Road Racing, I was going to say him and Ben are going to score good points, but Ben is currently in 10th, and I'm sure Ben is going to be coming into the pits. Bomb, and that's exactly what was going to happen there. So as we go up Eau Rouge, Crazies didn't get his line right through that, so he's I don't know if he's got a track order for that or not. I can't see obviously from this view, but there you go. So Ben's in the pits. Supercar Ray, he's going to get himself up to 11th, which is again, Supercar Ray is always sniffing around that top 10. So he's going to hope he can continue that. He just missed a gear then, so that was for me. So Ash starting from the pit lane, remember, he is Crazy's teammate, yeah. In the 444 Beamer, I think Ash has got good pace, again, very consistent. I wouldn't say Ash is an alien, but he's not far from them, yeah. He's really grown this season, which has been good to see, and long may that continue. So he's starting from the pits, he is 13, just FYI, okay. Volton's got himself up to 14th. Kagatacos, he's coming in for his pit stop. So Faco's 15th, he's going to go up a spot shortly. Cascanova is in 17th, but he's got his eyes on that 16th spot. And into Lacombe, wow, wow. I thought that was done. I mean, he definitely sent it up the inside, and it looked to me like Faco was kind of just giving him tons of room. But again, they both drove through that very well. Faco goes deep into Bruzel's, and Cascanova follows him through there. We've got blue flags. 83, that's Lamar, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So Dragon on Speed is 17th. Ben's in the pits still. Kaga's in the pits. King of the Hills is in the pits, as is Smalley. Bruges has completed his pit stop. He's running 21st, just coming up to the source. But again, the fact that he's got this stop out of the way, he's going to pick up 4 places right now. So it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's hope his tyres will last till the end. Iceman Sean is 22nd, coming up to the bus stop, and he's completed his stop, as has Tooney and Hutch, and so those guys are rekindling their love for each other. Lamaro is 26th at the moment. Where is that? That is Stavolo. And then Elysium is 27th. So those two are having a terrible race, but the fact that they've both pitted, I mean, I know they've had contact, they may look to make up some time there. So Michael's out up top as he comes into Lacombe for the 12th time. Traction Dave is second, but Traction's now 5 seconds off the pace, so whether he's had a little wobble somewhere, who knows. And he's got himself one, either Dragon on Speed or Kagatacos in front of him there. Crazy's is in 3rd, so he's got that move done on GTJ. We missed it, unfortunately, but he was looking pretty racy. I did say that they've been watching each other. That was King of the Hills and his 888 Bentley, just getting out of the way again. Good racing etiquette there. And Keno is still in 5th place, so Keno's the net beneficiary there of what happened to Ben. Well, maybe not for long though, because Marty is all over the back of him. That says half a second. That is no way half a second. Ben says, oops, Radion claims another scalp. Mate, happens to the best of us. Don't worry about it. You've had great pace in that Merc so far. Get it fixed and go get some points. You can do it. As we go through Puyon there, Keno manages to pull out a little bit more of a gap into Campus. So let's figure out where that Merc is stronger than the Ferrari, or vice versa. We go through the second part of Campus, but that's not going to help Marty going wide there into Stavro. Keno takes a better line through there. Similar lines through that one, that's fine. But now you can see the pace of the Merc. As I said, she's got legs, so we'll just see to the end of this one. Michael decides he's going to get his pit stop out of the way. We are 25, probably 26, 27 minutes into the race. Okay. So maybe a slightly early stop for Michael there. And Keno's thinking to himself, I'm under a lot of pressure from Marty here. I'm going to get my pit stop done as well. Yeah, GTJ's decided he's pitting. But Marty said, well, I'm just going to follow you into the pits because I kind of like this little battle we're having at the moment. We've got a little race in the pit lane. Go, 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 go. Right, anyway. So Rob2K, he's pitted as well. Blimey. So Ams is a beneficiary in that Lexus. He's going to move up the order quite nicely. Traction. Who's that in front? Is that Supercar Ray? Maybe. The longest pit lane in the world. 17 miles it is. Right, 10 of you watching so far, thank you very much. If you do like it, please drop a like. I really appreciate that. Okay, if you want to make a comment in there, please do. I will always interact and talk with you. Any questions you've got about any of the drivers, the racing, the tactics, the cars they're driving, anything. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, to entertain you guys and describe the action that's going on at the moment. So we have 1 million people in the pits currently, which will shake out shortly. So that puts Crazy's up to 2nd place. Again, he's not catching traction. That's not going to happen. But he does now have an opportunity to try and put in a couple of quick laps, because him and GTJ, remember, they were fighting over 3rd place, and there was, I think it's never been bigger than half a second, maybe 6/10 out push. So this is a time for him to try and get something done. So Michael's just coming out of his... That was a quick stop, Mike. He must be fully fueled then, I reckon. Right, Pony's got himself up onto the podium. Again, we've got a lot of pit stops happening at the moment. Ams is up to 4th, and Ash, wow, again, Ash started from the pit lane. He's now up to 5th. Hasn't pitted yet, but he is up to 5th. So he's having a fun evening. Cascanova up to 6th. Home race for him. Michael's out the pits, down the radio on straight. GTJ is just coming out the pits. So, where's traction? Not traction, where's Crazy? So Crazy's coming around Blanchimon. GTJ. Okay, it's going to be... I would expect Crazy's to come in this lap then. Although he is running in clear air, so he stays out. Interesting. Traction, he decides he's going to now come in and pit. So the top 2 have taken a lap each. They're going to come in and get their stops done. Right, further down the grid, Marty Road Racing is still... There you go. Poor old Keno. Oh no, Marty's come out in cold tyres and he's gone a little bit too hot in there. Keno took a little bit too much curve there as well. So obviously they're both pushing, as you can imagine. Definitely pushing. And then Rob 2K is a full 10 seconds behind these two. One's 3.7 behind Rob. And then we've got Bruges. Remember, Bruges pitted extremely early, maybe lap 1. So once these pit stops all sort themselves out, Bruges is up to 13th at the moment, which is fantastic. Superkart Ray's 14th, and then Kagatacos, let's get on board with him. Again, Kaga, Superkart Ray, these guys every single week, they seem to be, well, you know, exchanging pleasantries, and they are, you know, everyone likes each other, but they are always in some seriously good battles. Traction's pitted, Pony's pitted, and now so is Ams. So Crazy's is now leading the race, hasn't pitted yet. Important part for him. Ash is up to... Ash hasn't pitted yet either, Cascanova has. So it will be Crazy's and Ash teammates. They just wanted it to be a 1-2 as well. That's what they're going for. So Michael, GTJ, Keno's pulled nearly 1.5 seconds on Marty now, so that will please him. Gives him a little bit of a breather, because they have been nose to tail for quite a long time, which is great for us. It's great for everyone watching. It's probably not great for Claire or Katie, because obviously they want him to do well, and obviously same for Marty's fans as well. Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens further down the line. So Ben did extremely well in qualifying and was running 5th, doing really well in the race. Had an issue at the top of Radion, damaged the motor, come in, had the pit stop done. I assume he's fixed that damage, but he's now running in 17th place. But hey, you've got to carry on, you never know what's going to happen. And Smalley is in 18th in the Lexus. Flacco's 19th, and then Iceman Sean UK is in the top 20. Again, you can see, hold on a minute, Supercar Ray goes way too deep into the bus stop, and that allows Kagatacos, who takes a nice line through there. If only I could look around. So believe me, they're next to each other, yeah? Right, let's have a look on board with Kago as he goes in. How tight? He goes tight, he's gone a little bit wide there. Nice driving by these two, and I mean the Porsche, we know the Porsche probably has the best short acceleration out of any of the cars. It does get slightly ahead as we go into Eau Rouge, up Radion and onto the Kemmel Straight. Those two holding on for dear life, but they both get up there nicely, and I would definitely say Superkart Ray, you can see, got a much better run out of there, because Kaga actually dropped a gear last time we was on board of him going through Eau Rouge, and Superkart Ray's going to have to go around the outside. Oh, nice, and he just, no touching. That was, those two would have been absolutely holding their breath there. But again, absolutely epic stuff for us watching. Fantastic racing, good racecraft. You saw Superkart Ray just, he got his nose in front as they were coming into Les Coups, and then just pulled across slightly. It wasn't a dangerous move, it wasn't, he didn't slam the door shut. Oh, Kaga's got it. as we go to No Name, Kaga got an absolute tank slapper on there because he's pushing so hard. So I know these boys are fighting hard. They will be having a great time, an absolute great time at the moment. Sounds like a bus outside, but I think the wife's just opening a fizzy drink. So Crazy's still leading. His teammate Ash, he's decided to pit then. So Michael, this is an important part. Is Crazy's, when he pits, going to come out in front of GTJ or not? Kino is in 6th. Marty is only 3/10 behind him. I'm not going to move on that yet because we've only got a 10th between these two, and they've been battling extremely hard. Extremely hard. Pony's just waiting on that. That gap's extended a little bit now. 4/10. What happened there? Supercar Ray just sinking back at okay. Crazies. So Supercar Ray was obviously being blue flagged. He did the right thing again in terms of racing etiquette. It's something we do encourage with our drivers in terms of how. You'll be glad to see the back of that Merc, Elysium. Yeah, she hasn't brought you a lot of luck this year, this season, mate, to be honest with you. So we'll move on. We know you've got the pace. Just need to find a car that you prefer. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so we do encourage, obviously, fair driving and safe driving, and you can see the blue flags there. So, you know, what do I mean by that? Again, you don't have to jump out the way when you see a blue flag. I say it every week. But people that aren't aware, you don't have to jump out the way. It's telling you there's a faster car behind you. Great, it's giving you some information. And the gentlemanly thing to do is that Ash coming out of the pits, yeah? The gentlemanly thing to do would be, in a situation like this, for instance, yeah, would now be for Kaga to pull over, which he's doing. He's going to back off slightly. He doesn't want to back off too much because he doesn't want to give Supercar Ray a chance to make a move on him. But on the straights is when you should then make it easy for the person who've been blue flagged by to overtake you, and that was done by both of those two in both the right spots on the track. So I congratulate Supercar Ray and Kaga Tacos for doing that, and neither of them have really lost any time. It was round about that gap when Crazy's got involved with Supercar Ray. See, you can do it, guys, you can do it. So, Michael second place, Traction Dave is 16 seconds behind him. Blimey. I mean, that is a bit of a gap. Maybe Traction had a toilet break while he was there or something, I don't know. That's a big gap. So GTJ is still running in 4th, 5th for Kino. Ponyfeeder has managed to make a move on Marty. That's very, very interesting there. Oh, Marty, just as we get on board, he's lost it as we're going through Blanchimont, one of the, well, possibly the quickest part on the track, certainly one of, and he was really, really trying to push to try and get a move or get in position to make a move on Pony, having lost that position. So that was unfortunate for Marty, but the upshot is Kino DJ and his teammate, again, you're seeing they're both together on track, they're both high up the grid, they're going to score very strong points for the team, which, with this being the penultimate round, is massively important going into next week. Yeah, massively important. So Rob 2K, he's quite happy there. Yeah, he's quite happy. So Marty obviously lost a position to him as well. 1-1 Ferrari, look at that in the top 10. And again, remember, has pitted. Keep an eye on this. So Crazy's is coming to the pits. Where's he going to come out? Is he going to come out in front or behind GTJ? He's coming through Lacoon at the moment. Okay, we need to keep an eye. We will just watch this happen. Lurch is in. Hello Lurchies, good evening to you, my friend. I hope you are well. Best finish for me today is 4. What, as in, what was that on the PS4, mate? Because obviously we're late because of all the shenanigans with reserves and things like that. So that's a really good finish, mate. Well done. Please leave a like, because I like you. That was a bit shameless, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, so Crazy is in the pits. We know there's other battles going on. We are going to check all those battles out. I really, really need to see where he's going to come out in comparison to GTJ, who is just coming through, excuse me, campus and in Stavolo at the moment. So, there's my car. Thanks very much. So, Crazy's come. Right, let's look at his pit stop. Can you feel the tension? Hey Briz, hope you're well, mate. Thank you for joining. Yeah, actually, all you guys who've just already done your race, you can now come and watch this one. Crazy's in the pits at the moment, yeah, and GTJ, they were very, very close to each other before the pit stops, so I'm just waiting to see how that pans out. Michael and Traction are on another planet. No one's getting anywhere near them. So Crazy's is on his way out of the pits. GTJ is just coming through the source. I did tell you that Crazy's was ridiculously rapid, yeah, in terms of pit stops. Hold on a moment. Traction Dave's only just coming up through Eau Rouge. Crazy's finds himself actually net second place. So Traction, how weird, get a move on, man. Crazy's, that is, if he can hold that, and we know Traction's got more pace, yeah, we know those Ferraris have been ridiculously fast. And I mean mightily fast, over a second a lap quicker than everybody else, minimum. He's now got to get past Crazy's, and I'm sure Crazy's is going to try and make that Beamer really wide. But Traction will have nice sticky tyres because he's done his pit stop a couple of laps ago. Crazy's has just come out, so he's going to have tyres that aren't up to temperature yet, and they're going to be understeering and scrabbling everywhere. Oh, there you go, see, and there you go. So a bit of pressure from Traction, and Crazy's couldn't hold her in terms of getting on the throttle as you were. However, the plus point here is that Crazy's is now probably 10 seconds ahead of GTJ, which is mammoth. Those guys were 6/10 apart when they came into the pit stop. So I did say it was a good time for Crazy's, because it was in free air, to try and put in 3 or 4 decent laps, which he's evidently done. Plus his lightning quick pit stop, which he is pretty good at doing, has actually gained him a shed load of time. So the timing screens hasn't updated yet, but, you know, who's to say that Crazy's can't keep on the coattails of Traction now, and apply a bit of pressure to him. So we'll keep an eye on that delta. A second in it. Michael's checked out. He's 17 seconds down the road, which is absolutely bonkers. The setup at Birchie's, guess it worked, was insane. Good. Well, guys, I'm glad you all had fun. Please leave a like if you haven't already. You know I love it when you do. Keno's in 5th. He's having a great one. His teammate Pony's in 6th. He's not far behind him, but I'm sure they're not going to do anything silly. You know, but hey, it is racing. Rob is 7th at the moment. Marty is in 8th, so Marty can clearly see Rob in front of him. Looks like he's going quicker. Remember, Marty was running in 6th place, and he's just got himself a drive-through. Track limits obviously took a little bit too much there going through Blanchemont, so he's just going to get that drive-through out of the way. If you are fairly new to us and watching for the first time or second time, or you don't really listen to me, yeah, you get a drive-through for track limits. 3 warnings and in you come. You've got to do a drive through the pits. Probably not the best place to get a drive through, as the pit lane is, well, you can see how long it is, and this is half of it, but not even half, probably a third of it. Or you get a stop and go penalty if you speed in the pit lane. Took the lead in the championship. Well done, Briz. Well done, big guy. So Bruges is having a great race at the moment in 10th, which is really good for him. Traction's pushed that gap out from 1.2 to 2.3, so there will be no challenge there. And Ponyfeeder and Keno is now only 6/10 between them. In fact, let's change that. Keno, as well, maybe he's let him through, I don't know. That was 6/10, it's now 3/10 the opposite way, so there's a 9/10 difference there, which is a second. You know, in a couple of corners, did Keno make a mistake? I don't know. But anyway, that team are doing very well this evening. Kagatacos, he's had a rather eventful race tonight with this guy. Superkart Ray, as he comes past him again. Superkart Ray and Kagatacos have been at this for 43 minutes. Yeah, literally side by side, nose to tail. That could have been avoided there. I was saying they've been at it all race, and it's been ridiculously clean, and I mean super close, and then obviously contact happens there, which was unfortunate. I'm sure they will both just crack on though, as you can see. I'm sure they will both crack on. So Ash in the 444 BMO is Crazy's teammate. He's currently up in 12th place. He started from the pit lane. I mean, very, very impressed with his drive this evening. Hasn't put a foot wrong. I mean, okay, a bit wide there, as is happening now if one's being cursed. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Ben's had a really good race actually. Qualified high up the grid, was running 5th for a really good portion of the race, and seemed very safe and secure. Got bitten at the top of Eau Rouge, damage on the car, had to come in, long pit stop, down into 17th. He's now got himself back up to 13th. Looks like he wants a piece of Supercar Ray, so that's probably going to change shortly. He's now in 12th actually, and there's Kaga. Okay, so King of the Hills is 14th. He again has been involved with Kaga, Supercar Ray and Hutch. Where's Hutch? Hutch is down in 19th. Okay, we'll get to him in a moment. And then Smalley, well, he's just keeping a watching brief on these two. Could be quite interesting. Tooney's been really involved this evening as well. There has been, as always, lots of massive battles going on. We've had packs of cars, 4 and 5 cars doing battle at different parts of the race. It's been, as you expect, within FRL. It's been bloody epic. I didn't say bloody, I said blooming epic. No change at the top, except the lead's got bigger. The gap between Traction Crazies has stagnated. That's still 2.2. Then there's a 7.5, nearly 8 seconds back to GTJ. That has come down slightly, so we'll keep an eye. Pony's at 5th, Kino is in 6th, Rd7, 118, Bruges in 9th. Nothing's going to happen between those. Ash is now up to 10th from the pit lane, and then we've got Supercar Ray in front of us here, and Ben in the Merc. And this is Ben's first race with us as a full-time driver on this championship in a car he doesn't know, so he's brave to jump into it. You know, it's not a grid where... Hold on, I'll just hold my breath a minute. Right, that's something we've done. Ben gets himself up to 11. He can get back in the top 10. I'm sure he's going to be well over that. King of the Hill's 13th. He's just made that move. No, he's trying to make a move on Carry Tacos, but he can't. So they've obviously swapped places again as they come down to Brazil's. Steady. Good. Well, we're getting a full debrief here in the live chat about what happened on the PS4 game. Oh dear, King of the Hill's got himself all out of shape there, coming out of No Name. And he's just lost himself a place to Smalley. So Smalley's put himself up to 15th. Tooney is 16th. He's 12 seconds further back. So we'll stick there for a moment. King of the Hills wants that place back from Tooney. And Tooney's got himself all out of shape as we go through the first part of campus there. Thought he was going to throw that off. He didn't. He held it. Got completely out of shape into the second part of campus. It just needs to relax a little bit. We're at a part of the track where it's easy to get a little bit over happy with the right foot. As you can see, that Lexus is moving all over the place, and King of the Hills, I would say, in the trusty, stable Bentley, as you can see, has got a great run on him. So could have a move done into Blanchimont, if not here. Try and set him up wide there to get a move into the bus stop. Okay. Hard on the brakes into the bus stop then there. These two are trying to catch up with Kaga. I think Kaga's had a really enjoyable race again. I was fan Sean UK. Fantastic drive from you, my friend. You are up to 17th. That is very, very nice. It's again an improvement from last week. But Faco is only 8 tenths behind you as we go into La Source. Double a bit of breakage there from Smalley. So I don't know if he's 100% happy with that car. Kino thinks, bah, you know, I might want this place back after all as they go through No Name. Let's see what we do. Just check that. So I think we've had 47, 48 minutes of this race now. And Michael up front. Michael's probably bored. He is probably bored. He's built a 20-second lead, but he knows, you know, it's this race and it's next week, and there should be another championship in the bank for him, realistically, in terms of the points before this. So we'll see. We'll get on board with him later on as Ponyfeeder goes wide there, as coming out of Stavro. So Kino could get a little bit of a toe on him. Again, I'm sure they're not going to do anything silly because they are teammates. Smalley's now only half a second, so it's the Kaga, Smalley and King of the Hills show. They're all separated by half a second. So we'll just see this one through the bus stop, and then we'll go and have a look at that. Further down the grid, so your Volton's running 20th at the moment, just behind Hutch, so that's going to be a Bentley battle. Dragon on speed, Kaga's teammate, he's 21st. Mighty Road Racing, as we saw, obviously had that off earlier on, is 22nd. Cascanova's 23rd, and SJ Disco is only half a second behind him So we'll go there first. Let's have a look at SJ Disco. There's Cascanova, just coming through Puon at the moment, up towards Campus, the right left-hander. And then SJ Disco is only half a second behind. He's got a 28-second gap back to Lamaro, so, you know, SJ Disco, he's got nothing to worry about behind him. Yeah, well, not a Panto. Well, what behind me is my signs. Yeah. So he's got nothing to worry about behind him. He's just got to concentrate on chipping away. But as you've seen there, through that section of the track, he's just pulled out 1.1 seconds on him. So if that happens for another lap, then all of a sudden he's not going to be looking to make any headway on that really. Ams is running 26th. That will be disappointing for him after he managed to get in the race and qualify. He was running near the top 10 for a long time. So Ams won't be too happy about that, I don't think. And then we've got Fearless Freak who's still running 3 laps down. Elysium, nah, he's not racing. I know he pinged me a message. He's had some issues in that Merc today, which was a shame. But he could just look at my Ferrari and think about how great she probably is. And then Andy's 29th, and he's still going. He is still going forward. So fair play, Andy. I always say that every week. 2/10. Oh, it's the Smalley and Kaga show. And look, Supercar Ray's jumped them again. Then King of the Hills is there. I tell you what, these guys, if I could do highlights, which I may actually do at the end of the season, yeah, that sums up this particular PS5 grid, yeah, in terms of always having 29 drivers every week. It's always the same group that end up being completely nose to tail. Yeah, and it's always brilliant racing. Right, go on Kaga, this is the Kaga Superkart race show. Remember we was on this about 5 laps ago and it ended with a love tap. Is one owed? Not there. As we go through the second part campus on the way down towards Stavolo, both on the brakes, off at the same time. Now it's easy now. Yeah, don't get too eager, Kaga. You know what that Porsche is like. So we've got a great battle going on here. Nothing doing up top. That's more than 20 seconds. Kino's still under a second behind Pony, so don't think he's going to want to challenge him just yet. Definitely. Excuse me, that might have been a track limits there. This might be one as well. You just know, going through their mind, you just know these guys are sweating like crazy. And they're like, no, don't do it again, or come on, I've got to beat this guy this week. The Superkart Ray, well, he's obviously got his eyes on that top 10, but now you've got people like Ash, who's just, you know, pumping in some extremely good pace, and Ben, and we know Ben is rapid, yeah, I know he'll be modest and go, oh no, I'm not really, but no, he is, he's a very, very quick driver. He's got those two to contend with just to get to the top 10, yeah. So again, the standard within the FRL PS5 tacos is just notched up a little bit more, which we love, because this, look at it, this is the type of racing that we love to see. I'll say it's clean, they'll probably hit each other again now, but Hutch is only half a second behind your Volton. We will definitely have a look at that one as well. Good old admin battle there, they're both in a Bentley, so who wants it more? That's the question. And Dragon on Speed's only 7/10 behind them, and then Marty's only a second, so you've got another 4-way battle there. Right, King of the Hills. Here we go, I love it. Right, 52, I reckon, 52 or 53 minutes into this race by my calculations, because I started my timer late. So we don't have long to go. Is anyone going to be brave to make a move? Well, I think we can do. And again, I personally think Superkart Ray turned in too tight on him there, because he was definitely more than 3/4, definitely halfway up the car, and that turn in, and he wasn't going wide. Superkart Ray did turn in on him slightly there. Anyway, that shakes it up a little bit, because now Superkart Ray, wow, he's got rid of Kaga, well done. But now he's got Smalley and King of the Hills all over the back of him. Well, maybe not King of the Hills because he's trying so hard. He ends up going really deep in Stavolo and throws it off the track. So Smalley says, right, I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a nibble at Supercart Ray now. And Kagatacos is like, no, actually, I'm going to have a go at him. So I think he's in a bit of trouble there. Oh my word, we're almost 3 abreast going through Blanchimont. Somebody tell me this isn't epic. Please, somebody tell me this is not absolutely epic. So Smalley gets a move done. Supercart Ray is still fighting. Look, he's fighting so hard. And Kaga wants to go around the outside. Supercart Ray's like, no, you are not. So he's going to go up the inside. He does, and he gets the run on him. Kaga's got to get across there and get on the inside line to defend into the source quickly. And Supercart Ray's thinking, what have I got to do? Where's King of the Hills is like, right, I want my place back. So these 4 are having a right old time of it. Let's put it that way. And then further back, so your Volton is now only half a second behind Thaco, and Hutch and Dragon on speed. So I'm just going to have a quick look at this. Let's just see him go up there. Anyone going to die? Fingers crossed they don't. No one's dead yet, but Kaga definitely cut that quite a bit. So we've got our next 4-way battle. So we've got Thaco, who's leading the charge at the front of this. Under half a second behind is your Volton in the Bentley. Then another half a second you've got Hutch in his Bentley. And then you've got the Porsche of Dragon on speed. So, and Hutch, definitely got his line wrong through there, didn't he? So that's going to allow Dragon on speed to get a bit of a run on him. Looks like there is. Supercart Ray, King of the Hills and Kagatacos further ahead. They're all split by 7/10 at the moment, so nothing really changed there as we come into Lacombe. Right, your Volton is looking to put some pressure on Thaco, and he is putting some good pressure on Thaco as well as they go through there. A little bit too aggressive on the power, got a bit of an oversteer as they come into Brussels, down into first, getting into first, Chris, get turned in. You can see that McLaren, don't know what the tyres are doing on her, but she certainly went deep into there and was going to be scrubbing quite a lot on those tyres, which the long-term effect on that, as we know, is, well, is not great, is it? Crazies is only 2 seconds behind Traction, and that's been pretty much the same all the way through. Keno is still keeping the pony really honest. I know you guys are having a fantastic team race. I can't sit on that. I trust you both not to kill each other, okay? There's too much else going on the field chat, so I apologise. Claire, Katie, Keno's doing really well, as you can see. Kagatacos, told you, he wants his place back, so he's all over the back of Smalley. Okay, there is a gap now, so Supercart Ray and King of the Hills have maybe decided, you know what, I can't do this. I know there's only a few minutes left, but I'm totally like, ooh, steady. Smalley gets on the brakes, and Kaga evidently, and that Porsche can brake later and manages. That was an absolutely brilliant move, Kaga. Well done to you, up to 12th place. So Ben's only 1.7 seconds behind Ash for the top 10. I'm sure they would both love to be in the top 10. Let's see how that goes. Kaga's now up into 12th going through the source, so Smalley is already a second behind. Supercart Ray is a second behind, and King of the Hills is half a second behind him in 15th. Tooney, who's having quite a quiet race, I was going to say there, I was trying to say the same word about 17 times, but he qualified really well, and was definitely in the mix in the upper mid pack at the start of the race, and you can see he's just been putting in those laps, and look what's happening, because they're all battling so much. We say this all the time. King of the Hills looks like he's going to put a move on Supercart Ray. Supercart Ray can't turn in too tight there. King of the Hills has got to keep Supercart Ray, do not understeer there. He doesn't, he keeps it tight. We're side by side. This is, again, awesome racing. Side by side. I wish I had different camera angles to show you people, but this is what we're going to have to make do with. Hey, you love it, and I love it. It's all good. But whilst they're battling, somebody else wants to play. So Tooney, he's thinking, I know I've got pace over these two. Yep, they're so busy, they're so engrossed in their own battle. Look at him, he's just crawled up onto the back of them as we go through Puyon. But just did get the power down nicely then. He's got a little bit of overspeed. You're not going to make a move up there, surely. No, on the brakes they go. Oh, this is brilliant. We've got another 3-way battle. God, guys, you guys are just amazing. And Hutch and your Volton are going for it. Who's getting involved there? Mighty Road Racing. He's making a move as well. Boy, okay, we'll have to come back to that. So Supercart Ray Supercar Ray, oh, he's got on the throttle way too early there, and oh, King of the Hills smartly just got out the throttle a little bit and was just watching to see what was going to happen there. Now that's going to allow Tooney, he's got a big run coming through Blanchimont now. Supercar Ray, I don't know if he's caned his tyre. You cannot go around the outside there, mate. Surely he's got to try. He's going to go really wide. That's got to be some form of a warning. How can you not get a track? How can you not get a track limits warning for going ridiculously wide? And I would suggest evidently they're making a move. Yeah, because of the he didn't back out, did he? So he's carrying all that speed through. But hey, what do I know as we come up to the source? So Tooney wants to now maybe get himself up to 14th place. What a crazy race this has been. Crazy race, crazy start to the race, crazy qualifying sessions. We had reserves in that shouldn't have been in, which caused a bit of an uproar in the paddock, so we had to go down to the pit lane and sort it out and to restart qualifying. So Traction Dave originally was on pole position for the first qualifying session, and then Michael got pole position in the second, and Michael's on the final lap. I cannot believe this has been an hour already. So let's find some quick battles. So Ben is only a second off Ash, got a little bit squirrely there going through No Name. I was going to say could potentially put a move or some pressure on. That's probably gone. Tooney is all over the back of King of the Hills at the moment. It's only 2/10. Then further back, Supercar Ray looks like he's probably settled now for 16th. Iceman Sean UK, fabulous job by him to be in 17th, as Tooney thought about a move into Brazils, but then obviously was thinking he's probably going to push King of the Hills a bit deep. Might be able to get a better drive out of there. Hutch is 19th, Yvolton is 20th, a second between those two, as King of the Hills had a terrible exit out of No Name, and that meant Tooney couldn't get out of his way there. There was no way. There was a love tap, but it was a straight on love tap, although Tooney's now all out of shape going through Puyon and actually goes off track, so that might be enough to buy King of the Hills 14th position. Facco is 18th, Hutch 19th, Yvolton 20th. Dragon On Speed is only 2/10 behind, and Marty Road Racing, well, let's get back on board with these four. And I know Michael's doing a fabulous job around there, but hey, we've got a four-way battle going on here, so we need to have a look at it. We need to have a look at it through campus. Dragon On Speed, oh my word, the sea has just opened. So, oh no, oh dear. Marty Road Racing is not having any luck. So Dragon On Speed through campus, he got the tail out, massive oversteer, and was just sliding off the track. At the same time, Yvolton thought he was going to do the same thing, and they mirrored each other, and that opened the door for Marty to go through and take both of them. But as he did that, because of the way Chris was oversteering and correcting that, it wasn't snapping back, but she was coming back across the track slowly. When you get one of those situations, just literally cut across the front of Marty. So he's still going, but you can see floppy bonnet time. Floppy bonnet time. Right, let's get up the top. So Michael Races is coming up to the bus stop for the last time, the 26th time this evening. What a fabulous drive from him yet again. Flawless, absolutely flawless. And he's going to come across the line. He's going to take the win for round 7. Yeah, flash away, Michael. Well done. Fantastic race, my friend. Well done, you. Michael takes 4 points. It's going to be close to whether he's wrapped the championship up tonight. He may have done. I'll check later on. Traction Dave, he looks like he's going to bring it home in second place, and what a great effort in terms of the team from those two. A 1-2, qualified 1-2, finished 1-2. Well done, Traction, very well deserved there. And who's that? Who is that? Is that Yvolton? Is that 79? It is Yvolton, well done. And Crazies finishes third. There's your podium. Michael, Traction, Crazies, well done to you guys. GTJ, he's just crossing the line in 4th place now. And then Pony Feeder, well, he's had a great race this evening. Again, fantastic race by him and Kino. So Pony is going to come across the line and finish in 5th. Kino, as you can see, just behind him in formation, as they did last week. Yeah, as they did last week, they finished together. So 5th and 6th. Rob is 7th. Well done to you, Rob. Pretty, well, I wouldn't say a boring race for you, Rob, but pretty uneventful, but some good points for you. One brings it home in 8th. Fantastic result for you. Bruges is coming across in 9th, and then we've got Ash, who started from the pit lane, but he's got a very late challenge. Can Ben get on the power earlier than Ash? They've got to have a little sprint to the line. I don't think he's going to make it. Yeah, you might as well flash him. So Ash comes over 9th in the, well, 10th. Someone's left the server already. So Ben's 10th apparently. Kagatacos is going to be 11th by the look of it. Smalley's not going to challenge him. And then we've got King of the Hills just behind. Remember, these guys have had some absolutely ridiculously epic battles for this last hour. And Iceman Sean UK is in 14th. What a drive from him. What a drive from him at the moment. Supercart Ray has been in every single battle going this evening. Extremely entertaining, mate, as always. And I would say unlucky on a lot of occasions this evening. He comes home in 15th place. Faco's going to be 16th. Hutch is going to be 17th. And then Dragon on Speed, he's going to finish 18th. Caspanova is just going to finish behind him, 19th. SJ Disco is 20th. Who's he fighting with? Don't know. Marty Road Racing there is coming home in 21st. Tooney isn't going to finish the race by the look of it. Evolton's in the pits. He finished 23rd. Lamaro 24th. Ams 25th. Fearless 26th. And Andy 27th. I think we've had a couple leave the server already. Cool, blimey, guys. Definitely wish I'd had time to practice. Found the rhythm towards the end. Good, Glamaro. I'm very, very glad to hear that. Guys, that was round 7, yeah, of 8 of the Taco Tuesday Championship. We've had everything tonight. We've had decent practice. We've had a controversial qualifying 1, which was then reset. If you want to know why, go back and watch it. We've then had qualifying 2, which upset the apple cart a little bit. We've had a brilliant race. Michael was just left everyone for dead. He was in the 217s with traction. I haven't seen that on the PlayStation before. Really, really great times from them. Team drives have been really good. Kino, Pony Feeder, Ash started from the pits and finished in the top 10. Amazing result. Ben in his first race as a full-time driver qualified high, was in 5th. Tried to kill himself in Radion. Long pit stop, but then got himself back up almost to the top 10. We've had packs of cars. Kaga, King of the Hill, Supercart Ray, Hutch, Dragon on Speed, Faco. It's been bonkers. One of the best races I've watched in a long time. And I would like to say a big well done to Iceman Sean UK. Every week you're progressing, mate. You're still new with us. 14th, I believe. That was impressive. Well done. So, well done, Michael. Well done, mate. Well done, Traction. Well done, Crazies. Everyone's had a great race tonight. Thank you for being with us. It's been a long one. Claire, hope you're feeling better. Love the hair. Katie, hope you're feeling better too. Everyone that's watched, all the fan clubs that have come in for your drivers, I appreciate it. Everyone that's liked, I appreciate it. If you haven't liked, please do, or sub. And guys, I'll chat with you all afterwards, no doubt in Discord for about 6 hours now, and discuss the race. But great show, really great show. And I'll be back on Sunday. Keep your eye out. I did mention this new series I've started called Coop's Cars, where I'm going to start, well, you've seen the intro. If you haven't, have a look on the channel. I'm going to start releasing some of those at the end of this week. I'll be back on Sunday for the final round of the Pure Sim Gear GT3s, and then back for the final round of this one. So guys, what have I got to say? Wow, well done. Comms by Coops out.